Hey, we're live. Welcome, everybody, for joining me today on my Hangout. It's Saturday, and I figured, what the hell, let's go live. Anyway, I've got a guest backstream right now, or I got a guest in the green room going through my refrigerator and eating all my food. So stay out of the cookies back there, Liam. Anyway, here's Astroprinter. Let me bring him in. Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Good, and you?
Oh, pretty good.
Trying to keep out of trouble?
Yeah.
Succeeding? No?
I forgot to post an invite link in chat. Let me do that real quick. And then I'll say hello to everybody.
Who's out there right now?
If anybody would like to drop in, I just posted it in chat. Let me see who we got here. Matt German. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Plastic Putty. How you doing, Plastic Putty? Betty Boot 45. That's my wife, Brandy, in another room watching. SPC 3D. Hello. Dwayne King. How's it going? Yeah, we're live on YouTube right now. We're not on Facebook. And I don't know.
And Old Curmudgeon's there, too.
Old Curmudgeon. Hey, there you are. How's everybody? 3D Obsession, hello. Glad to see you. Anybody like to drop in and plug your company, talk about what you're working on, talk about your YouTube channel, anything that's hobby-related type stuff that we do here, you're welcome to. Just click on the link. It'll check your microphone and your camera, and you can pop in and we can chat. I stream anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, once or twice a week. And I have on special guests, not every week, but almost every week. I find somebody to bring in for an hour, and we talk about all about them and what they got going on in their life or their YouTube channel, whatever. So anyway, what have you been up to?
I'm actually testing for a company called MemoBot. They have a new bed that they want tested, so they shipped it to me. It only arrived yesterday, and I'm printing right now. It's very slowly printing a 250 by 250 square of PLA. It's only going to be 5 mil thick.
Wow.
We're going to see how good, how flat the bed is, and secondly, it will tell me about how easy it is to reach. Because I did one small part yesterday, and I literally put my finger against it and just did this, and the part popped off. Like, I didn't even hear it popping off. It had completely separated from the bed, which is what you really want. You don't want to have to struggle to scrape it off. Was that a question there?
Adjusting clearances for PETG and wood dowels are my current projects, what he's working on.
Okay.
And then my wife says I was in trouble this morning, but I told her during this stream I won't say anything out of line or get her mad at me, so I won't talk about what the comment was. But DB3D Dan was streaming this morning, and Liam was on there and a few other people.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I occasionally make wisecracks about my wife, so it is what it is. I won't do that. I love my wife, so.
You're just enjoying digging yourself a hole. That's all you do.
Yeah, I got pretty hard ground out here, so she'd have trouble digging out back. So anyway,
the coyotes will get you. Don't worry. But
yeah.
What's that?
This is a hell dog. It's for a project I'm working on for Dennis Moore at 3dfigureprints.com. He has a Patreon, and so I've got a big Spawn statue that I printed all out of resin. This hell dog is printed out of resin. It's been hollowed. I put some holes in its feet for draining. That's 3 millimeters thick. It was all printed like this in one piece on my Frozen Mighty 4K, and I'm currently working on painting it. But that's my project I got going on at the moment.
Built over bot. There's some truth to that. So. Yeah, I'm testing it. What I'm doing right now is getting that test done. I promised to do a review for them, and it looks promising so far. And if it works out the way I think it will, it's going to be a replacement bed from my longer LK1, because the LK1 I had problems with the glass bed that it has. It's weird. It's not one of those glass beds, but they coat it with the PVC coating. You know.
We've got another guy in the green room. Get out of the refrigerator. No. Put those down. Those are mine. Okay, let me bring him in. Hey, what's going on?
Caught.
Matt German, hello. How are you today?
I'm sorry. I just was eating my treats.
Yeah. What's going on?
I'm pretty good.
Awesome.
I saw the little thing you posted. It was really nice.
Yeah, but
come on, there's a flaw in there, isn't there?
Yeah, it is. The top is missing. I broke it accidentally off.
Put it in the frame. Who'd know?
Yeah, Yeah, of course.
Problem solved.
I just have to. I don't know if you guys can see that.
You can use sandpaper to level that.
Yeah.
Sandpaper sandpaper on a flat surface. Just stand it upside down and then drop it and then move it up and down. It'll level that out, no problem for you.
Yeah, lay it down flat, rough, and kind of
Yeah,
back
that
and
would fix
forth.
that.
Or take a razor knife and very carefully try to cut it as quick as
I'd
possible.
go sandpaper instead, but whatever works for you. Yeah.
I will try that.
Yeah, this morning when DB3D Dan was live streaming, I wanted to buy some more PLA. And since we've had this pandemic going on for a year, everybody's prices went through the roof. A lot of times I go to ZYLTECH and pay $15.99 for their PLA. That's currently $20. Or I buy 3D ZYLTECH on Amazon for $15.99. Yeah, it's $21.99. So Liam mentioned about a company called GST3D that Daniel from Makers Hub had told him about.
Mm-hmm.
So I checked him out online, and you can get 10 rolls for $100 free shipping. It's PLA Plus. I got to show you this.
Yeah, share this page. It's really cool. They're the cheapest out there, and they're a new company, so they're trying to make their mark.
They're based out of Florida, and it's called GST3D, and they've got a lot of great deals here. They got 3 packs at $15.99 a piece, 6 packs at $15. If you buy 10 packs, you get it for $10 a roll. And Daniel from Makers Hub and the Global 3D Print Project has tons of this laying around his room, his hobby room. But
they only do one type of filament, which is PLA Plus right now. But that's okay. It's PLA Plus, so it's a bit better, a bit more heat resistant than normal PLA, and it's a fine product. It's not high temp, but it's good. It's fine.
Yeah,
and
here's a $12 deal for 10. But then if you come over here to this deal here, St. Patrick's Day, you get 10 rolls for $100 right here.
And it won't last long. Every now and again they often offer the 10 packs for $120, but that's a St. Patrick's Day special that they're doing it.
Oh, hey, yeah, I gotta play this. This is a cool video of the process. It's kind of like what Printed Solid does, Dave.
The extrusion process.
This is theirs. Here, check this out.
Go full screen.
Yeah, I clicked on it. It won't let me.
Oh.
Let me click it. Let me go to their YouTube and see if it'll play.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
That's for measuring the diameter.
Can you hear that music or no?
Just in the background a little bit when you started off first.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right. A lot of high-tech, expensive equipment here.
Well, if you're going to do it, you have to do it right, or you're not going to do it. By the way, I've heard that, as I said, I haven't bought their material yet. But Daniel says their spools are fantastic. They're well laid out. There's no twisting or anything of the spools or anything like that. They actually do a good job.
They have a spool winder.
They all have spool winders, but half of them don't watch it. They just say automatic, and then load the next, and then you get tangles when that happens, and then that ruins your print because you get overlapped, or they let it go slack and loose, and the moment it goes loose, you can get run into tangles, right? Yeah. Like even if you take your own spool off the spool holder, you cut it, you take it off, you keep it taut, and you lock it into place. You don't allow it to go loose. Then one strand over the other, you just ruined it.
And if it gets away from you, you got to pull out like 20 or 30 feet and wind it back up by hand. Been there, done that.
And even then, when you do wind it by hand, it'll get twisted, so it doesn't go into the extruder right. It comes out all twisted and winded. So it needs to be done right if it's going to be done.
Yeah, I use a big rubber band, but I just put around the spool, and I maybe put 2 extra security on.
We have another special guest. We've got Trevor from Navari 3D Printing, and he's waving at me in the background. Should I let him in?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Trevor?
We can always kick him back out later on.
How you guys doing?
How y'all doing today?
Good. And you?
I'm loving it.
Hey, Mrs. Trevor.
How you doing,
I'm
man?
Ricky.
This is Ricky, my wife.
Ricky, I chatted with you this morning.
Yeah. I need your address again. I guess I finished.
Here comes the dog. There's a dog, little pug.
That's Cha Cha. Come here, Cha.
We got Cha Cha.
She's being good. She's
running
going
back
where she's
into
supposed to
Hobo
go.
Town there.
Awesome.
So
That's Sadie's little area
Go
there.
away.
well, that's the play area, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah.
how's business doing?
Today it's been busy.
Balls
Good.
and
Busy.
balls. I cut cups all morning.
Yeah, she was doing the laser cuts for me today.
Nice.
Well, I've got a question about the bridge that they're working on that shut down that goes from Pensacola to you. When my
Yeah.
wife comes down there in June, if it's not open, how long will it take her to drive around that area by land?
No difference because as long as you're coming to Fort Walton, you'll go a different route anyway. It won't take any longer.
Okay.
So it
All right.
really affects people that live close to the bridge that
Oh,
now have to go all the way back
Yeah.
around to get a foot away. And what's crazy is so what happened was we had a hurricane. Everybody knew about it for like 2 weeks. You know, not really 2 weeks, but you know, hurricanes we always have 3 or 4 days notice. And the company Scanza that had the contract to build that bridge in the first place,
Uh-huh.
all
They're
their
still finishing.
all their barges got loose because they didn't secure them, and they broke their own bridge that was almost
And
done.
then like 3 of them got like in people's backyards.
Yeah.
Took out a house. Like they
We
got
got-
a lawsuit on their hands.
We got another guy getting in my fridge, so I got to bring him in. We've got Mike from Auto Drop 3D coming in.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
It's been a
It's
while.
good.
Hey, how's everything?
You know, everything's good. Everything's good, it seems.
Yeah, I haven't
How's
seen you
everybody else
online in a while.
He says there's no difference. You can get there just as quick. You just go a different way.
Where have you been hiding? I haven't seen you online in some time.
Yeah, I've been working on a couple of things. We did all that integration for the belt slicers and have just been testing that. I deployed one of the machines over at the local makerspace so that they could, you know, put it through some more crazy testing. I find that actual people printing on stuff finds all the bugs quicker than, you know, people who are, you know, good at it.
Yeah, end user
besides
testing is
that-
the best testing.
Yeah. Besides that, I set up a new website, serialterminal.com. It works right in your browser with the new Chrome serial APIs. You just plug in a printer or whatever and send, you know, just like a normal serial terminal.
Post it in chat.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
if you can't post it, put it in private and I can list it. Yeah, Trevor, that went great the other day. I thank you very much for donating that printer. That was awesome.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
And I'm not sure if the woman that won it, I didn't recognize her name. I don't know if she's into 3D printing. Hopefully she is. Hopefully she can use it. So that's really awesome of you. Thank you very much.
Oh, most welcome.
She
Yeah,
is now.
I thought about upgrading my fleet and then getting rid of my older machines. But then I thought, you know what? So many of them aren't working. Maybe I can give it to somebody that can use it. So that's really cool.
Actually, Trevor, I have a question. Do you have any S5s?
S5s, I have one that I keep on the store for use.
Okay.
I like the Max a little bit better.
Well, I need a 500. I'm looking for a 500 by 500.
Okay, I'll find you one. It's funny, like last Christmas, I was drowning in them. I was getting them for like $300 a piece, brand new. And I had 8 or 11 of them at one point.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know what happened with Crowley, but they want like a lot of money for them now, like $800 or $900, and there are no used ones on the market.
Well, I'm pushing Creality to see. I want to do a full size droid build, and that's a 500. I need a 500 bed for that because it won't print it now. I've asked Creality.
It's 18-inch dome, I believe.
Yeah, the dome is it's just slightly under 500 millimeters. The dome is and the body. So I've asked Creality about sponsoring. They're not responding to me yet. They said they'll let me know, and maybe they will, and maybe they won't. But if I'm going to do the droid, I do need a larger bed.
PM me your info, and I'll pass that on to my rep, and maybe you'll have better luck talking to her. I have the WeChat for Crowley's head engineer, and if I have problems, he'll answer me right away.
Oh,
Although what I say is he's also given me misinformation twice.
Okay, that's fine. I don't care about misinformation. That we can fix ourselves. Can you put your contact information in the private chat? We won't share it, just for me.
Yeah,
If I can grab it, and I will message you to see if you can maybe leverage your contacts to help out there, because like I will put their name on this. It'll be used at astronomy and science and STEM events for the next couple of years, as long as it's bloody working. So they're going to get years of advertising out of this for the printer. So, and that's what I would like to do, because like that's a big printer, right? The biggest I have is my Ender 5 Plus, and that's only a 350 bed. It's not big enough.
No, I like that 5 Plus, but yeah, definitely that's why I keep one of them, because there are times when I have 3 Maxes and then the S5, and sometimes I just got to use it edge to edge.
Hey, Trevor, I want to show your video again that you filmed the other day when you weren't talking, and you can narrate while we're playing it. All right?
Yeah, cool.
For anybody that missed my live stream the other day, here's Trevor's shop in Navarre, Florida, and he'll narrate as we go. Yeah, I guess you can't narrate. It mutes everybody, so we'll just watch it.
Well, this is kind of cool. This looks like a really nice setup between retail space and actual like workspace to print stuff.
Huh.
Yeah, it mutes everybody, but if you hit the unmute button, you can talk during the video.
Well, that was weird. AutoDrop was talking.
No, when you hit play.
Yeah, it mutes everybody, but you can unmute yourself.
You can unmute yourself using the unmute button.
Oh, so Trevor could have unmuted himself and talked during it.
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
that's a cool setup, though.
It didn't play. It didn't play all of it.
Well,
No?
I'll try to take you a better one, and I'll somehow send it to you so Facebook doesn't downgrade the video quality so bad.
Yeah, I can share it on screen. If you send it to me through a Dropbox or something, I can share a screen. It won't be as big, but that was odd. It only played like half of it, and then it stopped. I don't know what was going on. I posted a comment in chat, and the next thing you know, I hear Mike talking and it dropped the video.
Oh, no. Well, I didn't hit a button to do anything like that.
No, I know. There's no way you don't have control over it. So I don't know why it stopped.
But no, Mike, like you were saying, yeah, we cut the store in half. So half of it's a print farm, because that's where we started out, was with the print farm. We just, after we had 15 printers in the house going full time, we figured maybe we can scale this up a little bit better. And that's when we started selling printers retail. So in our first store, we simply had a wall of printers going down the entire wall, but people would continuously touch the printers and the prints. And I was just losing print after print. And when you're running a print farm, that's not good, because, you know, I no longer deliver that in 2 days like promised. Now it's 4 days because I got to reprint half the items.
Yeah.
So
people picking printers is what makes them not work.
yes. So we have some running printers in those front windows. I don't know if you could see that. and that way people walking by the mall. Every once in a while, somebody will call us when we're closed, and they're like, "Hey, man, you got to fail." But for the most part, everything works well, and it looks real nice from the outside of the store.
Okay, here's another way I can share it. It wasn't through Facebook, but here, let me do this. And I'll jump back into where I think we were, and then everybody can still talk.
Oh, yeah, you just missed seeing the lasers. That was it.
Let's see. That one.
Any more grass? Need to be higher?
Always need more grass.
Okay, we about right here somewhere?
Oh, we were all the way past that because I'd walked through all the FDM and res. Yeah, we're right past this.
All right.
Got 2 transforms and 2 sonics there.
Yeah, someday I'll have a transform if I can afford the resin for it.
Oh man,
Oh.
I messed up and I lost a print, and yeah, I was really unhappy when I came in yesterday morning. I just missed it too. I mean, I should have poured resin in about 30 minutes before that.
You should.
Killed Captain America.
There was one. No, it's probably not what you're looking for. Did you ever look at see the G5 resin printer from JG Maker?
Would it refill itself?
You put a bottle and a hose into it, and it pumps it in as it needs it.
You know, having a bottle on your printer, you can do that with just an air pump. If you take the top of the bottle and you put a long straw all the way down to the bottom of it, and you put an air input port on the top, you can use compressed air to push the liquid up out the straw and into your thing.
Agreed, but the thing is, you need to get a sense when the level is dropping to refill, and the G5 does that.
I do have a YouTube channel, but it's a lot of work to film it. I'll turn the webcam on if I'm repairing a printer sometime, just so I can document for my customers how to fix something.
Yeah, you don't have time to do videos and run your business. Yeah.
Yeah. So usually, mainly what I have on there is laser engraving, where I'll record laser engraving for a couple hours and then put it in the front window when I don't have Jerry on the front window here.
Yeah, am I on the? Are we
You're
on
in
the
my front window a lot more than you probably know.
Hey, everybody walking by, come in here. Come in here. He's got great deals.
No, you have a good informative show, and I can put it on so people walking by can see it and they're interested. And, it's just good, Unfortunately, I can't put like Naomi on the front window,
Oh, you don't? Yeah.
So
Well, you'll be closed down if you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's a mall. Don't they have worse things than that in the mall?
Oh, we got a hot topic,
People were wondering why I was acting stupid a minute ago. He has a big TV in the front window, and right now he's streaming this live stream. So you can't hear sound, but people can walk by and go, look at that bald-headed guy with the white beard. Look at that guy. Look at that guy over there. Hey, look at the guy with the rockets.
Oh, they can hear it too. They got your hearing.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And now they all know that Jerry's really weird.
Welcome, everybody in Florida. Welcome to Navari 3D Printing. Please come in.
Man,
and if you buy something today only, we'll give you a free benchy.
Lizards. Lizards are bitchy.
Lots of lizards. Yeah, we always keep different articulating parts around to give away.
Oh, is that the ant? Those are
Butterflies. Kids like the butterflies too.
I hate ants. I need to print that.
You've done the trilobites, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, what you guys been up to this week?
I've been printing lithophanes.
Surprised
Ian.
Matt's doing lithophanes.
Yeah,
Again.
I know.
No way, really?
That's all Matt prints is lithophanes.
I'm
Here's
sorry,
what-
guys. You guys must be thinking I'm boring.
That's what I'm currently working on.
Do you use Luban? Because I saw I saw them posted in there, so I figured.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, Luigi makes a great product, man. I use Luban a lot for splitting up models. I'll be using it to do a mold soon.
How do you split them? Actually, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I want to split them in four. I want to split them in 4 ways. Basically, I want to split the border out, and then only have this piece, create an STL file, and then take the border and also make an STL file, and then put both STL file in Cura, and then print them. Because I got a 2-colored one now. I want to print the border, let's say rainbow color and the inside white. You know.
Doesn't Cura or the Prusa slicer support you making like a shape and saying this stuff is all within this shape is going to be one color and all the stuff in this other shape is going to be another color?
You can do 2 color or 2 extruders, but Luban makes it with a border, and he wants to cut the border out afterwards.
Yeah. What I was saying though is I think that either it's Prusa Slicer or Cura. One of them has this thing where you could basically bring in like a cube and shape and resize the cube and say everything that's inside this cube is going to be one color and everything else is another color.
Oh, you're talking about. It doesn't split it. What you're talking about? What's it called again?
I don't know exactly what the feature is, but I know it's a thing in one of those 2 slicers where it's just like you can basically mark the stuff that you want to have as another color, and it's with a shape volume.
Yeah, but you can do that in Idea. You can do that in Idea Maker too.
You can have multi-processes and simplified 3D. If, like, for instance, you want to change your layers, your infill, whatever, have separate process at any layer to do whatever you want. Yeah. Multiple processes.
Yeah, they all do. Most of them do that. But I do. I use Idea Maker a lot more than now. I still use Cura, but I've gone more towards Idea Maker because I do mostly mechanical stuff. And Idea Maker is perfect for that. It's a bit trickier to set up your printers because there's way more options available on it. By default, there's way more options available in it. So, but other than that, it's a really nice slicer. You get really better quality with mechanical parts.
Hey, Trevor, look at what I got coming in the mail soon.
Oh, your Mono X.
Nice.
Yeah, $7.99. It's on sale, $100 off. I got it for $800. So when I get it, we'll do some videos and go from there and see what happens.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
I thought about stocking those for my store. I need to re-up on my resin printers now, and I was real hesitant before Christmas because everybody was in a race to get their mono printers out. And you were seeing things like the Elegoo Mars with the grid problem and everything. And when you have to buy, $10,000 worth at once, I don't want to get stuck with a bad product, and I'm not going to sell a bad product. So it's
the crazy problem I have with resin printing is, okay, I got the Elegoo Mars originally, and I've done a couple hundred prints. And out of a couple hundred prints, I had probably 2 failures. It's very rare I ever had any trouble with that small resin printer. And then I got the Frozen Mighty 4K. And I tried their 4K resin because it was coming from Taiwan. I got that. They throw it in for free, no big deal. Every single print was a failure with their stock settings for that printer in Cheetah Box. So then I tried this resin and that resin. And until I got to ZYLTECH, nothing was quite perfect. Some things were better than others, but when I got to ZYLTECH, everything was perfect. 3DRS here in the U.S. sent me 3 bottles worth $150, and I told them I'd do 1 video for each bottle. And on the first bottle, most of the prints were failures. And they don't have any profiles for that particular printer on their site. But typically, it doesn't matter. Typically, what I use by default works. I increase my penetration depth by 5. That puts the support a little deeper in the model, yet they still shear off easily. I have medium supports. Nothing is coming off the bed. The supports are there, but the model is pulling off the supports. It's like, what the hell is going on? But with ZYLTECH, everything is perfect.
You're not curing it long enough. When I got my transform, I did the correct test where you actually do the resin profiles, and it said 1.4 seconds. I have the mono screen. So, okay. A month later, when I finally got it dialed in, I'm at 4 seconds. Yes, the resin will cure, but it will not cure to be strong enough to hold more and more weight unless you cure it more. And
Which setting would be wrong?
Here, add time.
The what?
Layer time.
Layer time.
Yeah. So you'll know you have too much time when your supports don't come off like wet spaghetti. But if your supports aren't sticking, add a second.
Yeah, like I say, attach the build plate is perfect. Supports are perfect, but the model to the support is not. And when that first happened a long time ago, I forget what I was slicing. I had to increase the depth, and as soon as I did that solved the problem. But on certain resins, it's like they just keep falling off. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was a problem I had, and what I believe it is I have a larger FEP. I have way more surface area, and pulling the print off that FEP is totally different. And the bigger the printers get, I think, it's just things change. And so
using Rain-X seems to help immensely. I mean, it seems to help me a lot. And a lot of people say, oh, that doesn't do it. One guy argued with me on one of my YouTube channel. He said, you can't get FEP any smoother than it already is. But, Rain-X works. In my opinion, it works great. The PTFE oil that I used to use worked fine on the small Elegoo Mars, but it didn't seem to work on the bigger printer. But putting Rain-X on it, nothing seems to stick to it. And I don't ever hear it popping. Sometimes I kind of hear something, but it don't pop like it used to. So I think, in my opinion, Rain-X solved the problem.
Well, this is the reasons why, the top-down resin printers, where it's a projector projecting on the top of the vat, is so much nicer. Because you're basically guaranteed never to lose anything.
And then I needed some replacement FEP for the Frozen, but I didn't want to order from Taiwan. They want too much money plus shipping. So I went on to a Facebook group, and they said there's a couple deals on Facebook. They're for different printers. I got like 3 sheets for $22. And then since then, I have a link I haven't posted anywhere where there's 2 other companies that sell it in sheets where it's used for another purpose. And you just cut down what you need a lot cheaper.
I'm going to send you a website where I buy mine wholesale. He only allows you to buy once a month. And I buy 5 feet by 1 foot roll for $45.
You want me to post this publicly?
Oh, I can. Yeah.
No, okay.
No trade secret.
Okay. Flexvat.com.
Yeah, and it's good FEP. I've never had a problem. I don't know what the deal is with the 1 a month limitation, but he's pretty clear on the website. If he catches you ordering more than once a month, he'll ban you.
Oh, he doesn't want people reselling it, trying to buy them out and marking it up.
Yeah, but see, it's not that much cheaper. But what it is you're getting 5 foot by 1 foot sheets, so you can cut your own vats in there and come out ahead. You know what I'm saying? Because you always have overage on your FEP.
Hold on, Dixon. Yeah, there's a link to it right there, guys. There's one of the companies. But yeah, before they had resin printers, a lot of these products were out there for other purposes. So there's always alternatives that might work. It's just somebody experimented, it worked. So then they said, hey, I can buy a whole roll for X amount of dollars and make all this money on it. And we have another man popping in. We've got Dixon Hoffman. Hey, Dixon.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
How you doing?
Hey.
Good. I don't have my rocker. I'm downstairs today.
Wow.
Let's take a look at that.
There's no more getting seasick anymore. Watching back.
How about if I go like this?
We're all getting motion sickness.
You're in the garage.
I'm downstairs. I got a new toy that a guy just gave me a spectacular deal on it, so I had no choice but to buy it. I'll switch cameras here and show you what it is. He charged me let's see. All right, I'm not showing. Oh, here we go. Logitech.
Yeah. Liam, I see that in the background. I'll get it.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, you got a lathe?
Nice.
Oh,
I wasn't.
That's not a lathe. That's a milling machine.
Yes, a lathe / milling machine, and I had no choice but to take it. One of my buddies, he's 85 and he's got a hard time seeing and stuff, and he says just last week Thursday, I was talking to the wife saying, okay, I don't want no more machines down in my shop in the basement. And he calls me Friday and he says, I really want this to go to a good home. He says I got $200 just in way over $200 just in the tooling. So I says, all right, what do you want for it? He said he wants $200.
Wow.
So that's a
Holy
steal.
cow. Okay.
So
You couldn't say no to that.
no, and then I'll switch back.
You can't even do that good. You can't even do that good at Harbor Freight.
No, he's got all the tooling and everything, and micrometers, digital micrometers, and the whole works. So then when I get to his place, I had to use a come along to get this in the basement and stuff. It's so heavy. He goes, well, there's one catch. He says you got to take this here with it.
Wow.
or you can't have it. And it's got a G26 brand new 15cc motor on it.
Oh, I mean,
Nice.
twist your arm, why doesn't it?
Yeah, and another one in
man.
the box, and I'm thinking, oh my God, Donnie.
So you in future when we need special nozzles made, we'll go to you because you can mill them.
Wow, there you go. Yeah, brass.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Liam.
what's the
Liam's had a
nozzle?
screen here for a bit. I need to post this. Liam has had this hanging out in the green room.
Don't worry about it. I just put out to be something interesting.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Hey.
a test of a print surface. I was given a print surface. I was asked to test it, and it's 300 by 300. And the only printer it will fit was my longer LK1. And they said it releases really easy, and he gave me a whole series of. They recommend. They say it can do so much. So the only way to test a build surface is to print something large to see how well it comes off. So I did a small print in it last night, and I released it by just moving my finger and by barely touching it, and it wasn't even stuck. You normally hear a click when it releases. This was fully disengaged. So now I'm doing a 250 by 250 big print mat, just 5 millimeters tall. It's going to take 6 hours to print it, but I want to see how well it releases a really large part. This will be a good test for it.
Cool.
Let me know how that comes out, because that almost sounds like it's perfect for, some of the auto ejection stuff.
Now it has to go fully cold though. It has to.
Trevor sells build. Don't you sell build plates also, Trevor? You had made for you?
Yeah, energetic. It's basically Wham Bam. It's similar to Wham Bam.
Well, this is not a flexible, and it's by a company called Mammorbot. They're out of China, and that's all they make is build areas. They're a small company, but this is a brand new product that they have.
I'm
And
excited to see how well it works.
I definitely want to hear about it.
yeah,
Hey, Dominic, I do. I sell anything you need. If it's just a part for a printer, about 1 in every 10 Amazon printers I get that are a return are either a box of diapers or just general parts. So sometimes, literally, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I got some aluminum extrudes. Or,
well, what they really knew, what was really happy is to say, we know Trevor's going to buy this, and we know he's got kids. Let's ship him a box of diapers.
A while back, Sunlu was sending me some of their Amazon returns. It happened a couple times over like a 2-week period. And on one of the spools, I swear to God, it had about a foot of filament on it. I'm like, why would Amazon even send this out to me? It's got a foot of filament. So I contacted the rep on Facebook and I told him, and that was the last time I ever got an Amazon return. I wasn't trying to badmouth it. I just wanted his company to be aware of what they were getting back at Amazon.
They don't
what I was
inspect.
receiving.
They don't inspect. They inspect jewelry. They inspect some electronics, not all. The really high price items they check. They do not check anything under $1,000.
Crazy.
yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I got a box of car parts one day instead of a product. And there were sway bar links, like OEM, GM sway bar links, a whole box, like 25 of them. And, those are about $25 a pop. So I sent it back and they were like, yeah, no problem. But, I probably would have come out ahead with that. But it's crazy. Like sometimes there's not good control.
Yeah. Oh, you're mute.
Dixon, I can't hear you. Your mic's muted, Dixon. There you go.
Trevor, what happens then? You bite the bullet on some of them packages you get, and it's just all parts?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but if it's 1 out of 10,
Or sometimes
9 out
there's
of 10
no
are
printed
good.
parts in there. I've got
You're probably going to
just
use it for
aluminum parts like AC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it affects your margins though when that's tight.
Trevor, since Amazon is all over the place, they got warehouses everywhere. Your stuff typically comes from your state only, or just the surrounding states, or how does that work?
No, far as I know, it's all of their returns from the vendor. And it's just, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I'm going to do another promo here soon because I have probably 150 units in stock now that are brand new. So they're new return Amazon stock. So what they are was somebody issued a return on it before they got it, and they shipped it right back. And all they did was they cut the UPC code off.
Okay.
So, you know, I have all levels, and you get it all. So maybe I get a brand new one, but then in the same batch, I get one missing a lot of parts.
Yeah.
It's been really bad. I started getting a couple of the CR6 SEs, and those have a new head with auto leveling built into the head where it pushes it into the bed. And they're about $60 for that whole head. It's got an LED, and it's on a quick connect.
Yeah.
And so pretty much all 8 of them I've gotten so far are missing the heads. And also it has a drawer system in the front that has some wrenches and stuff. The whole drawer system is missing out of a lot of them.
Wow.
So it's hit or miss, but you know, in the end you win. You know, I also sell new. I don't just sell Amazon returns. I'm a Crowley dealer. So I sell their new stuff too. And you know, that's what I prefer to do. I don't like putting together, you know, stuff that takes twice as long because you got to find nuts and bolts. So
yeah, and like I got one return machine sent to me, and it was missing bolts, and it was returned because, and it was just thrown into the box. They didn't pack it; they just dumped it in there, right? But it was missing some bolts, and the end stop, the Z end stop, was faulty. So, like, and all that happened, that was all that was wrong with it. What happened is the end stop. You know the little metal clip that goes over the button for the end stop? That clip had fallen off. That was it. That was the only thing wrong with the printer.
A Delta with a square bed?
That's the auto-ejecting build plate that we have.
Oh, nice.
All made out of aluminum.
Explain how it works, if you could.
So the way this works, and I'll just manually do this real quick, is the build plate itself gets pushed forward. Okay, and you can see how the build plate is moving forward
underneath the aluminum strip.
Yep, and it has this blade on it which peels the item off. And normally I have basically a skirt that goes on the front of the printer. It's just like a piece of paper that hangs over so that the things can slide down. But it slides the whole build plate forward under that stationary blade and ejects it. And this kind of thing will work on the Delta printers, but it also works on the machines which lower the Z.
Does it lift? Does it tilt the bed to knock it off the edge or what?
No, it doesn't have to, because I have a wall on the back here which pushes it up over the blade.
So that comes forward?
Yes, this whole build plate slides forward out of the machine. And your items, normally I have like a piece of flat material here which kind of hangs over the front. It lifts up when it's extended all the way, and then it lowers back down. So you just put a bin in front of the machine to pick up the parts.
And as long as they're not brittle, you're good.
What was that?
As long as they're not very brittle with fragile edges, like fingertips of a model or whatever, it won't break, so you're good.
Yeah, and generally you can also kind of mitigate that a little bit just by allowing them to slide down onto a nice kind of a flat surface.
Ramp. Yeah, give a ramp that it'll slide along or something.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah,
I haven't seen those before. That's cool.
Within the last few weeks, Auto Drop, after my stream had ended, you donated $5 to me, I think, on PayPal. Thank you very much. I forget what stream it was. And before I end my streams every week, I forget to check my email to see who had donated to me and to thank them in stream. But I really appreciate everybody that donates to help me out.
If you want to see the other thing I worked on this week, I could share my screen.
Sure.
Here. While you're doing that, Trevor, I sent you an email.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to have to hop off here in a little bit because I got to go and pick up a printer from somebody. But so this is my new thing, right? So I'm going to go and set my my baud speed. This is all inside the browser. nothing to install. This is using the new Chrome APIs for talking with serial ports.
Yeah.
And if I hit connect, I can pick my board here. In this case, I'm plugged into a Duet. Okay. And I can send something like, let's see, I'm going to send like a G28.
Send it home.
Oh, what did I send? G28. There we are. What the heck is happening here?
It's adding a 0.
Well, this is what happens when you modify things before going live.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that'll be fixed. Never mind.
We got it worked out. I'll
happened,
put
right?
it back up.
Yeah,
part of the
shoot.
process.
That's damn it. I hate that. What the hell?
You know what to say? To err is human, but to really mess up, you need a computer.
It
Computer
works a
says
million
no.
times. It works a million times until you want to show somebody. That always happens.
All right,
Well,
guys,
you
it's
know
time
what?
for the Dramamine. He's back in his
I
rocking chair.
I should have known better because, what the heck? I should have modified it before showing it off.
While you're talking, here's something I just downloaded. I haven't printed it yet. It's from Sanix over on his Patreon.
Oh, Captain America, nice.
That's very cool. Yeah, that'll be nice.
And that can be a single print.
The Sanix
parts.
where you're standing up.
Yeah, depending on how big I want to make it, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if the Mono X, I'm not sure if this is much bigger than my Photon Mighty 4K. I don't know yet.
Yeah, but
I like
then
it.
Because my Mighty 4K cost me $500, and this one on sale is $800. So we'll see. It's got Wi-Fi connectability and a bunch of stuff. So we'll see see how it works out when I get it.
What I'll say is Frozen, to me, seems to be the leader in a lot of what I see. They had the mono screen pretty much before anybody else. Everybody else just kind of followed suit, and their machines are so much sturdier and well built. They're just solid. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed that in yours. But I'm excited to see how that one works. Otherwise, your Anycubic.
Yeah.
yeah, I build over. I'm an IT guy, so no computers are only computers are not dumb, but they're as smart as the person who's using them. If you use them right, they do a really good job. And while it's different with what Mike's doing, though, he's writing code. Writing code, when you make changes, stuff happens, and you have to repeat and test and test and test to get it right. That's
Yeah,
the way
I
it goes.
feel that. I was an idiot here.
It happens, right? It happens to everybody who writes code. My wife's a programmer, and she writes the code, and you fix one thing, and something else breaks because they're because of dependencies. And you go back and you figure out where it's gone wrong. You tweak the code to get it optimized, and you move on, right? That's part of coding. I work with software engineers all the time in my job because I'm a product manager in my present job, and like you wouldn't believe the hoops these guys go through, how many iterations they go through to get code to work. And they're good programmers, but you have to go through multiple iterations to get code to be nice and tidy and to work.
Frozen Mini 4K is what I would start with if I was just getting into printing, or like an Elegoo, but with a 4K screen. But yeah,
For
I
resin?
do a Frozen Mini 4K.
If it's resin they want to get into, but there's good and bad in resins you need to keep in mind as well, right?
If he's talking about resin, that's right.
Okay.
We're kind of talking about resins. I assume that's what the question was regarding with resin.
Yeah, needs to let us know if it's resin or not.
What kind of an Arduino, Liam?
Well, no, he's talking about using an Arduino. I use some Arduinos.
Oh, kind of like I misread it.
Yeah, I use some Arduinos, but not an awful lot. I use more Pi than I use Arduino. Arduino is great for, do I want this on or off? Do I want to open or close? Do I want to do A or B? Because you don't have an actual full operating system. Whereas for logical work, an Arduino is great. When you want to get into actual write an application or run code or do something within an operating system, then you need to go Pi for that. You can't really do that with an Arduino. But you can use the Pi to manage the Arduinos to do a lot of other functions.
Yep, Pi's are for all kinds of computer work, and Arduinos are for motion control, pulse width modulations, inputs, outputs.
Yeah, anything to do with logic requirements, you know.
Yep.
Arduinos are ideal for that. Turning on and off a motor, enabling turning on and off power to something, opening and closing a door, sensing a door is open. All of these an Arduino is fantastic for. I agree. Yeah, it would be important for I/O timing. I agree. Yeah, well, Python, there's good and bad in Python, right? It's not really multi-threading, which is the downside of it. They say it does, but it doesn't really. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be. It just needs to. For the mini computers you're using it on, you're not doing high I/O stuff anyway. Like, I think the highest I/O I ever put in a Pi is my all-sky camera, which beats up the Pi every morning. During the night, it's not that busy. It does images, but during the day, like first thing in the morning, it actually runs a whole series of jobs where it gathers the images and mix and builds time lapses. It does star trails and all this stuff. It's all built into the Pi. It does all that work, and I run it to I overclock the Pi at that hour of the morning, but it's for an hour, for 20 minutes, and after that, then it goes back down to normal and stays there till the next morning.
My CR10 Max wasn't reading the SD card. It wasn't spring loaded. I couldn't press it in. It wouldn't read it. So I plugged in one of my Pis off my Hypercube. I plugged it in, and it wasn't connecting. It's like, what the hell? It plugs at 115.2 on every other printer. So I went in and set it to 25,000, then it's seen it fine, or 250,000, whatever, and now it's reading it. So I can do some printing on it, try it out.
What board do you have? What version?
I don't know. It's whatever came with it when my friend ordered it from Tiny Machines out of Texas. I don't know. I'd have to find a picture of my hard drive here, because when I turned it over, I took pictures of everything. Or when I took the cover off and flipped it over, I'll have to find it and I can let you know.
Let me know.
I wanted to put a 32-bit drop-in board in it, but I don't think they make one.
32-bit doesn't do anything in a Cartesian printer for you.
It allows you to.
Yes.
Well, what it does is it allows you to turn on features that you can't use on an 8-bit board.
Okay, if you're using Marlin 2.0, then you need a 32-bit.
Yeah.
If you're running Marlin 1.5, 1.6, there's no difference.
It's a lot easier to update the firmware. Just throw it on the SD card. That's one.
I hate that. I can't connect with Pronterface. I can't, if I want to load Tim's firmware on it, I can't do that. It's just, I like using a data cable. I'm old school.
Well, I've done both. And I like the 32-bit boards because I like that you can enable S-curve. I like that you can enable multi-extruder E-steps. I like that you can turn on linear advance and all that. Some of them, because if you turn on all the really good, helpful features, you flood an 8-bit board won't take the code. It's too big.
Yeah.
Whereas on 32-bit board, memory is not the problem.
Yeah, that's why you want it on a Delta, all the calculations.
Yeah.
What about simplified, Trevor?
They have problems with their retraction algorithms and linear advance. I stay away from those features if I use Simplify.
Yeah, I use Cura or I use Idea Maker. And I'm using more and more Idea Maker because Idea Maker is... I'm becoming a big fan of Idea Maker.
Yeah, me too. I switched everything to Idea Maker.
About a year and a half ago, I started getting a lot of Ender 5 Amazon returns. I mean, like a stupid amount. And they were having this problem about 10 minutes into the print, sometimes as long as 30 minutes. It was random, but it was never more. It always happened within 20 or 30 minutes, if not sooner. The extruder would quit putting out filament. So you think you had a hot end that was bad, but you push the filament manually and it comes right out. There was nothing wrong, except the extruder was no longer working. And I've never seen a stepper motor go bad ever. So, but I tried everything. And finally, I read somewhere on Reddit that it was an issue with Simplify 3D's retraction algorithm and the TMC 2208. I contacted Simplify. They told me it was total BS, but I sliced the file with Cura and the printers worked fine.
Yeah.
Sliced it with Simplify, every time it had the problem. A workaround, though, was I loaded Tim's firmware on them all, TH3D.
Yeah.
Never had a problem again, even with Simplify.
His unified firmware is very good.
But Creality has these problems, just like if it's a Creality machine with the touch screen. All of a sudden, on a 10S Pro, if I slice for Simplify, it wants to do a wipe in the middle of the bed every time, even if I turn wipe off. Slice a file with Creality, it does the wipe on the side like it should. I have a new Creality CH5, and every single time it does a wipe in the center, I can't get it to stop. And Simplify's answer is they don't know. Sorry.
I've seen that happen with ABL enabled on the 5 Plus.
With the touch,
so it's probably something similar.
It's something with the touch screen and ABL. There's no doubt about that. But if I slice it with Cura, I never have the problem. It's only sliced with Simplify.
I've seen it happen with Cura even, but taking out I had to take out some of the ABL stuff out of the start code. So, and I turned off auto bed leveling. I like the one where it automatically does it before the job starts. So what happens is it does a line down the side, and then scoots into the center of the bed, and then draws a line back up to the start point again, for no reason. But taking out the ABL command at the start of the G code, it doesn't do it anymore. So check your start code; it might be in there, because I found that was causing it. And if you go in and modify and customize their start code, that fixed it for me on my 5 Plus.
It worked for the 5 Plus, and it worked for the 10S Pro, but not the new CR5 at all.
Yeah, that's weird.
Matt, you're on twice.
I hate it. That's an enclosed printer, and it's a pain.
Uh-oh. 2 Matts. I don't know about that.
One of them's enough to deal with. I think he's going to show his lithophanes. See, I'm clued into this guy. I chat with this guy almost every single day, so I know what he's up to. I know how his mind works, and it's scary, but I know how it works. It's one of these deep, dark places you don't want to go on your own.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a picture of my board in the Macs, but I'm not seeing it on my hard drive. It might be on my other computer.
Okay.
I got too much stuff in my download directory.
I want to show off my new A30M, and it's brilliant. I think I have one test print what I did with the lithophane. I mean, it came out really nice.
Wow.
And the edges are really good too.
Show me the image again.
See you later. I gotta run, but that is cool looking.
That is Gremlins number 2.
Wrong guy. He's already okay. He's gonna.
What happened? Did we lose Matt?
No, I'm here.
Well, we lost your camera. We're now seeing the back of your head from your desktop.
All right.
No, Mike from AutoDrop said he had to go, and I was going to pull screen real quick and say goodbye. Take care, Mike.
So put Matt as full screen, his mobile device.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Gremlins. That's what we blame when our printer goes bad. It's Gremlins, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We of course we never slice it wrong. It's the Gremlins that cause the problems.
This one is really nice too, I think, but spot the problem.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, the top is missing. I broke it in half.
Oh, we told you how to fix that. Sign it and put it in the frame. You're done.
Yeah, I know. I'm still cheating.
But
This is
only
all what
you
I
know
want to do
that.
this week.
That's sharp.
Nice.
Yeah, they're lovely.
Now this one is really lovely.
Yeah, that's a nice print too.
Oh yeah.
Jerry, we should consider doing a lithophane droid so you light it up inside and it has an image on it.
Yeah.
That would be a cool idea. You'd have to bring it. We have to make it flat, the right size, and then bring it in and warp it in some other software. Because then when you put on an LED on the inside, it actually has a scene from a movie or whatever like that on the outside of it.
Just edit the body in a slicer and put panels in it, and print panels
Yeah,
separately.
well, or if you made it flat, and then you curved it like using Luban or something, and then bring it into some other software and warp it around, which is easy enough to do. And then what you can do is you put it inside the body, so when the light comes on, it shines through that and kind of stands out, you know.
Well, you can add whatever curvature you want with Luban up to 360. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Makers Hub had a question. The 5 Plus comes with a 2.2 board, but the silent version and their upgrade is a 2.2.1.
I don't have the silent on mine, and I like it's a noisier machine. Like, come on, it is a noisier. Even at Z, when it's doing the Z steps, when it's doing Z, it is a little. It's noisier because it's got two.
Yeah, silent board. It's totally silent, man. It's nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine squeaks a little. I think I need to replace one of my brass couplers.
You just lube it. They all do until you.
I do lube it. It's not enough. And I use the PTFE lube. So I might just replace the coupler, the brass coupler for the bed level, the bed plate, just to because I have a feeling it might be. I think it's maybe not 100% straight, and I've tried loosening it up to give it play and so on.
I tried loosening mine up, and I know a couple other people that theirs made a lot of noise. And I tried everything. I loosened everything. I'd bring it up to the top. I bring it up to the bottom. There's two problems I found with that printer. One is, you got to lube the crap out of all those rods.
Yeah.
The other one is it's out of calibration at first. So you got to be sure to calibrate the sides and make sure they're in.
Matt, I've done all of that.
Matt, you have ZYLTECH printers, right, Matt? I got a question here on the screen.
Yeah, all my printers are ZYLTECH printers.
Yeah, I mentioned this on Dan's Hangout this morning, but did everybody see Chris Riley's latest video talking about rods and balls, about lubing your machine, about running the rods smoothly over your balls?
What?
He didn't laugh while he's saying it, and he's completely serious. But the way my mind works, it went in the gutter immediately.
Yeah, he was thinking mechanical parts, and he wasn't thinking where our mind goes.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
yeah,
Dan is here. So we have two troublemakers now out there. We have Dan and we have
Hey Dan, how you doing?
Yeah, gravy tomorrow.
His ears are burning. I just mentioned this group.
Yeah, we have Dan and Lam on the out there now.
Yeah, if you guys want to come in and hang out, let's see. I didn't repost it in a while. Let me repost this.
Oh, did you hear? They actually set a date for the releasing the helicopter on the Perseverance, the new quad.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they're actually going to. They have actually released the undercarriage cover already, and they're going to deploy it early next week. I think it's Monday, is what they're saying. So, and then they'll do some testing on it, and then they will actually fly it do the initial test flights. Maybe a couple of meters off the ground. The initial test will be happening probably by the end of next week.
Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to leave in his comments 3D Obsession. You should have called this video Rods and Balls, but I didn't. So, anyway.
So is Murph on this year? Has anybody heard yet?
I haven't heard. They have a date, but I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't, because they're talking till the end of the year before people are vaccinated, really.
I see it June 25th to the 27th.
Yeah, I think that's about as tentative as you can get tentative.
We've got Joe's Wheels and Parts stopping in. He does a lot of cool models, has tons of resin printers. He has a business. I believe he's in Cal, and here he is right now. Hey, Joe. He's there somewhere.
He's hiding. He's shy.
Let me make him bigger. He's got lots and lots of resin printers and Anycubic. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
What's going on?
You see the Anycubic Mono X I just ordered. I'll be getting it in a few days.
I like your handles.
Oh, thanks. Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can see and hear you. Just mute YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, you mute your YouTube if it's still open, and because we're getting feedback because of it. Yeah.
So what are you up to?
Hold on 1 second. I'm like,
yeah,
it's like I have a really bad lag.
All right, mute YouTube and leave StreamYard open. You'll be able to hear us. But or just close YouTube either way.
Hold on. Come on. All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we always could.
Okay, so now I can hear you because I had a bad delay.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I put those handles. I went to Home Depot. I did that to like the first one that I got a while back, but I put the handles because there's no way I could grab them with my gloves all full of resin, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just the best. Easily just pick them up and not dirty them.
I bet when you drilled the first hole, the first printer, you were thinking, "Oh God, I hope this doesn't crack."
Yeah, I put a little bit of tape on there to try to like maybe help it a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I didn't get any cracks. You know, I was real gentle when I was drilling it in.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I drill a countertop or anything, I'll usually put tape over it or duct tape. It'll keep the edges from spalling on it.
What you need to do is you need to put a runner above him, right? And put a pulley in the runner and then tie the pulley onto the handle. So you can just pull the rope, lift the bed, take your part out, and then drop it down. You never have to touch the cover ever.
You know what? I seen somebody that made a mechanical electric one that it's gonna lift it up. Have you seen that?
No, but it sounds like something I would probably do if I needed to. Yeah, I put a little motor on it, a little like a stepper motor. Go forward, it will lift up. Go backwards, it will come down. Just have a button up and to change the direction on a desk beside it.
Since you're in a wheelchair, do you have any trouble lifting the covers off, or it's no problem?
No, it's not a problem at all. You know, it's easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, to make a hole easier in plastic, why don't get a soldering iron, an old one?
Yeah.
And then make it hot and then burn a hole in it.
Use soldering iron to make it plastic because we work too.
No splitting.
You could do that, yeah. Yeah, I seen the motorized one. It's pretty cool. I don't know how much they're gonna sell it for, but I don't know. I don't think I would use it.
Make your own with a stepper and a stepper motor and a flywheel attached to the stepper motor. And if you wind the rope around it a few times, one direction would lower it down, the other direction would raise it up. That's all you have to do. And you could use an NEMA 17 stepper motor. There's no weight in those, so it's not pulling a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Joe, people that haven't seen what you do in your business, do you have any of your car bodies or anything you can show on screen? And tell people where they can find you out?
Here's a two-door Tahoe, a 1997 two-door Tahoe.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a customer's. Yeah, I do a bunch of different ones, you know, a bunch of different bodies and wheels and parts for cars, for model kits like the 124, 125 scale.
Throw your in private chat, list your website, and I'll throw it on the screen.
Yeah. Well, my Instagram is you can find me at on Instagram at the Joe's Wheels and Parts.
Like there was no geeks. I was like, what the hell?
Sure, right.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey Jerry, that Anycubic that you're waiting for, is that bigger than your other Your biggest resin?
The Mighty 4K, I think it's about the same size, but until I haven't measured the build plate on this one. One lists their sizes in millimeters, the other one talks about inches, and I've got
I think yours is bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, I think yours is bigger. I don't know if it's I think it's probably like an inch bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
mine
it's-
was $5.99, and I got free shipping on it. This one's $800, and that's with $100 savings. So we'll see if that extra $300 gives me a better machine.
Yeah.
What do you have now? You said you had the Mighty.
Yeah, I got the Mighty 4K by Frozen, and then I got the Elegoo Mars original.
All right, let's see what the specs are here. You got. Oh, they only.
Yeah, them frozen machines are nice machines. I looked at their big one for $1,000, but I couldn't justify it, so I just held off.
Yeah. Well, like I say, my biggest problem is different resins. I'm having things pull off the supports, and it's driving me nuts. Everything is perfect, but it pulls off the supports. So I dump in ZYLTECH, and it prints perfect.
I was gonna say, otherwise, did you try it with the easiest printing resin, like that Elegoo Gray? That seems to work all the time.
I used to use Elegoo, and then I went on to ZYLTECH, and I've never went back to Elegoo. I kind of look at the prices, and once I find something I love, I stick with it. But I'm reviewing some 3DRS resin they make here in the U.S. I've got 3 videos to do. I've already done one. I had a lot of problems, and I've got 2 more videos, but I want to work the bugs out of it. And Trevor's talking about my layer time, to increase my layer time, so I need to figure out what I need to do. But their resin is really super thick. It's not real runny. It's very thick resin, and I have to figure out how to work the bugs out of it for the next 2 videos.
Hey, Jerry, they're almost literally the same size. So your Sonic Mighty is 200 by 125 by 220, and the Photon Mono X is 192 by 120 by 245. So you'll get a little bit more Z, but you lost 8 millimeters in length.
Okay.
Not a huge difference, but they're right about the same size though.
Yeah.
I see you guys. I might be popping in later again, and maybe half an hour or so.
All right. Well, thank you very much, man, for coming by. You're always welcome to join in whenever you like.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Jerry, they have the LD006. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, the Creality's
Not sure.
4K.
That's Creality's resin printer, the like a Mono X or like a Mighty 4K. That's their version. It's the LD. I think it's like $700 right now.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Yeah.
I'm kind of cash poor at the moment, so if Creality would like to send me one to review, I can send them my address. Not a problem.
I like their LD002Rs. They're a non-mono, but when I get them for returns, I sell them for like $100 in my store.
I have one.
A lot of times, even though I don't want to sell resin stuff to kids, it's usually like 12-year-olds that buy them because they can get into resin printing for dirt cheap.
Yeah. No, I have the 002R, and it's a nice printer.
It's beautiful. It's like elegant. It's like cut out.
There's only one thing I don't like about it. It's got the fan built in. It says it has a carbon filter built in for filtering. That actually, the reason why I don't like it is that actually spreads the fumes of your filament, of your material everywhere. So I've printed. I haven't attached it yet. I made a little adapter to put my fan on here and put that in instead of it. And what it's going to do is, because it's blocked at the end, it's going to recycle the air in the container, and it's going to fill this with fish tank carbon.
So I use G-code and just disable that fan.
Yeah, but I'm just going to use this, but I'm going to use fish tank carbon inside it. And by blowing it through that, it will actually clean the air. That's the mod. I haven't put it on yet, but that's the mod I'm going to add for my 006.
I like on the 002s and I'm maybe all of Creality's resin printers, but it uses the standard 3-prong cable that we're used to on everything. Versus like the Photon, you have an external power supply that then you plug into your printer.
Yeah, the built-in power supply is nice. It's all in one box. Yeah.
I know that when I go to Cheetah Box and I'm using my Elegoo Mars or the Frozen printer, I've got to save the file format in a different extension because one printer won't read the other printer's file.
Yeah.
It's like I forget the file extension, but they're different between the two printers.
It's the same way with the Anycubic.
Well, most of the manufacturers now on the bigger printers, it's a zip file, and if you extract it, it's just however many layers, it's that many photos. Mm-hmm. Versus like on the Photon, it's a Photon or Photon S file that's kind of their deal. It's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, they're moving more towards imaging now is what they're actually doing.
Anybody else watching would like to drop in, let me know, and I'll post the link again if you'd like to pop in and talk about what you're working on. If you have any questions for us, please ask. And please subscribe. I would really appreciate it.
You got a lot of resin printers there. How long you been resin printing?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think since Anycubic came out with their original Photon, so maybe like it's been like 5 years already.
Wow.
Yeah, right. I started with the original Photon. I got it like a couple months, like 4 months after it came out, and then when they released the white one, the new one, their Photon S, I bought that one, and then I had those. Those are the only two that I had, and then Anycubic released their mono ones, and I went with the mono X and their smaller one, and I think they're the best.
What's your preferred resin, and do you buy in bulk? Large containers.
Well, I haven't found anybody that sell that I like the company that I'm using that they don't sell in bulk, but yeah, the one that I'm using right now is this one right here, the Monoprice. It's pretty good. It's very durable. If you go on my Instagram, I did a video of this resin against the Elegoo resin, and I dropped two bodies. One was made out of the Elegoo regular resin or whatever, and then the other one was made with the Monoprice, and the Monoprice is more like the Soraya Tenacious.
Yes.
And it's not that expensive at all. And I've dropped it. I've thrown it in the air. It won't break. The only time it'll break is if I like slam it on the floor. But other than like if you drop it from your desk or whatever, your work area, it won't break at all. It's like you can check it out on my Instagram. I made a video. Me and my buddy, we made a video. And the Elegoo one, it just shattered into pieces, and the other one, it just bounces. It doesn't even chip at all. It's pretty strong, pretty durable stuff.
What type of material is that?
That's the Monoprice, the Monoprice gray resin. Here, I'll show you the bottle.
Okay.
This stuff right here is I've tried so many, like I've tested a bunch of different ones, and no, I think this is like the best. I've tested a bunch of them, and besides like Soraya Tech and Tenacious and Blue, I mean those are really good as well. But
that must not have been the flexible one. No, yeah. These are very flexible. This was the RS resin, and that one just broke too. Okay, I broke two of them. Okay, I'm done.
You grabbed the wrong one.
Yeah, something. I just broke two of them.
That happened to me too many times.
Yeah, but they're very flexible. These do not have Tenacious in them. This is from 3DRS, and the printer typically very flexible. But for some reason, I just broke two things on that one. So
well, that's like what happens. Like when you do a demo live, it happened with SpaceX. We can't break the glass. Smash.
Oh.
Yeah, when I done my video, I took them and I'm throwing them on the table, and one of the bases popped off because I had it super glued, but they weren't being damaged otherwise, and now I just broke two parts on them.
Well, so I saw the video. But what happens with the Tesla one was the window was down prior when they were doing the testing prior, and they were hitting the door with a sledgehammer, right? And it actually so it caused impact on the glass. So when they put the glass up for the demo, they didn't realize there was a fracture at the bottom of the glass created by them hitting with a sledgehammer earlier on. So when they did throw the metal ball at the glass, it shattered because there was already a flaw in it.
Did you hear about all the people that were getting arrested because they bought flamethrowers from him? And it turns out in certain countries and certain states, you're not allowed to have a flamethrower.
But they're called flamethrowers, but all they are is basically a blowtorch inside of the plastic case. So
Looks like just a screw-in butane tank or something.
Hey, Trevor, let me know when you see somebody outside by the TV. I'll full screen myself and try to get him in the store.
yeah, the customers say, "Welcome."
Yeah, anybody watching, Trevor's got a TV in his shop there in Florida in the front window, and we're live streaming on that right now, so people walking by can see everybody here.
So stop picking your nose, everybody.
Yeah.
Do like David Letterman style back in the day.
Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, you should do that. Let Jerry be your announcer.
Yeah, because I even have a camera that sits and views right outside of it. So you live view it while you're hey.
That'd be funny. Hey, you, where are you going? Come back here.
Yeah. Cool.
There's someone coming. There's someone walking towards the store. I can see them in your feed, Trevor.
Hey, come here. Deals. Great deals in here. Yeah, you.
Come on in. No, they kept going.
That's funny. The malls are quiet on Saturdays, are they, because of the lockdowns?
No, it was really busy earlier.
Okay.
They even had a little mini fair like right out front of the mall. But
Every time I go to a mall, the first place I go is to the food court to see who sells gyros or pizza or the cool food. I always check out the food courts first thing. And then when I was younger, it was for a different reason. I always went to the malls. So
Here in Wisconsin, it's like there's no lockdowns or nothing. You go by bars and they're just packed.
Huh.
Same here in Florida,
Yeah.
That's why you hear the jokes about Florida, but
Yeah, I got my first shot on Monday. I went to Walmart grocery store. I got the Moderna, I think it was.
Yeah.
No big deal. It felt like somebody touched me with their fingernail. I didn't even feel the shot.
Yeah, I got mine done on Monday also.
That's good as long as you don't get sick or nothing,
You'll have a horn growing out of your head pretty soon.
I'm already sick,
Yeah.
so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, in a couple of years, they'll realize, oh, yeah, there'll be all these commercials on TV. If you've turned into a zombie and you're foaming at the mouth, please call us. We can,
That
Anyway.
would happen.
let's hope not.
No, that's.
I ran into a lot of-
I don't like people. I don't like naysayers about stuff like that because they just don't understand how it really works, And they're making up excuses half the time.
Yeah, malls aren't as popular as they used to be. Unfortunately, there's Amazon and too many things online. So,
Yeah, we had our Best Buy stores shut down here, and that's why.
You guys heard of Price Electronics?
yeah, they shut down here in Vegas.
Yeah, they shut down too.
that was
Yeah,
sad.
that was pretty sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only been in Fry's here once, and that's because it's clear across town. I'm retired and I hate traffic. Even though
Are
I
you
used
in
to be
Vegas?
in
You're in Vegas, right?
Yeah, I live in Vegas.
So
Yeah, I've
that
been
was-
to the one there.
Yeah, it's shut down.
They
No,
said
that-
it was the writing
right.
was on the wall. They said their shelves were last 3 years were getting pretty low, empty. It's
What was
how do you compete with that? Amazon, you want any kind of electronics, you order it and you get it in 2 days usually.
Yeah.
how you compete is like I do. I mark all my prices the same price as Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't make as much, but either you don't want to come to the mall or you don't like me. But there's no reason price wise to not shop with me.
How do you get around your shipping and that, because when I bought crap full of for my farm, I would have bought them, at your place, but how do you get around your shipping? It's still, if you can make money, that's good.
I have a local store, so I mean mostly it's people walking in my store.
Yeah, that helps a lot. Yep.
I mean, you think like I'm in a small town. Like I think we have how many people in this? 60,000. I've sold hundreds of printers locally. hundreds.
And then on Facebook, you got your group, Corrality USA Exchange Group.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Well, so what I do with the Amazon returns is I try to, originally the group was invite only, and it was makers I knew that if they got a problem printer, I knew they could problem solve and fix it and just say, I need a motherboard or I need a stop switch. And I wouldn't send them a part that wasn't needing to be sent. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So yeah, you kind of guys. And eventually I opened it up to everybody, good and bad. I sold more, but I had more problems too. Everybody thinks their motherboard bad or a stepper driver's bad, but
plug something in.
Something's not plugged in or something wasn't plugged into the motherboard.
Since your wife there helps you run everything, she builds and prints also, right?
She does. She prints. She operates the laser. She's awesome. She
puts up with you.
She hesitated for about the first year, and then once she saw it was going to be stuck here, she jumped in full wagon, and she's running.
Have you had any problems you couldn't resolve when she knew the answer and had to help you?
I'm sure.
Because I truly believe that most women are smarter than men. Because when I go to the doctor, I only want a woman doctor. I don't want to deal with men. Men are usually stupid. They want to get out of the room and they won't listen to your problem and help you. Where women are more understanding and they care. So that's I truly believe that.
That's not Trevor. Not at this. I think I'm smarter in areas than he is. We yin and yang. He's very more mechanically and this kind of stuff, which he spent all the time YouTubing and just trial and error for like years.
I think your screen is dirty, Trevor. Right in front of your face, it looks like it's foggy. I
use it on my laser too. I probably got some dust on it.
Oh, okay. That's better.
Yep.
He's way smarter than me. I run the operations and the money and paint and I print and I know how to fix little problems, and y'all start talking about TM 22. I ain't got there yet. I don't want to. I still got a 2-year-old to run after, which probably helps with too. And I got 2 teenagers. I also run a condo cleaning business, so we're busy. We rarely sleep. That's why I'm totally gray-headed now.
The 2-year-old takes more time than anything, I think.
The 2-year-old takes time because we have to give her time. He's our baby and our last baby, of course. And
I'll be right back.
All right.
Well, they call it the terrible twos for a reason,
You know what? She's my first baby that I've had twos with. My older girls, I have a 16 and almost 18-year-old. They were more the 3s and 4s where they just wanted independence and wanted to fight me on stuff. But they were 16 months apart, so the terrible 2s and 3s, they were just buddies and kept each other happy and all that. So it was not bad. This was my first experience with terrible 2s, which in your early 40s is not so fun. I'm already fat and old, and I should be chasing a grandbaby in a couple years, not a baby, but. She's our miracle baby. I've had cancer twice, and Trevor was told he could never have children. So,
big kids, big problems. Little kids, little problems.
Exactly. Yeah, I told him it gets different, and every month he sees how the changes in her, which is things he has to deal with.
It's fun, but
it's my youngest is 14. My oldest is 27.
Hey, Jason.
I would have. I lost 31. A baby, so I would have a 24-year-old right now. Almost 24-year-old.
Like to drop in, Jason. Here's the link.
And she works for PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Oh wow.
Do your kids print? Did you get them into printing too, or?
My daughter, no. My son. He thinks it's cool that you can do stuff, but if it's not on a games console, it doesn't apply. So
yeah, my son is 32. He works IT at Venetian. He has 2 kids. He collects minis and Spawn statues. He has hundreds of Spawns, and he's not interested in 3D printing. He says he don't have enough time for it.
Hey, Jerry, you did construction, right?
Yeah, I was in construction for 25 years, and I was a truck driver before that.
Start printing some houses, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're doing it now. They're 3D printing houses right now.
I'm good at everything, but I'm not an expert at nothing. I can rebuild cars, engines. I've never done a transmission, nor do I want to. I can frame up stuff. I can wire stuff. I can do pretty much anything. But like I say, I'm good at everything, but not an expert at nothing.
Here's my grandson when they first came out with acrylic printers. The beginning printers were acrylic.
Okay.
He's 3 years old. My grandson helping me build them. He always had to help me. That's quite a long time ago. He's already 7 now.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, no, mine is not interested in. He's not really into it. He's not into the astronomy stuff. He thinks it's cool and he knows stuff, but he doesn't want to be out at night in the cold outside looking through an eyepiece. He doesn't have the attention span yet. Maybe when he gets older, he'll get interested in that stuff.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Very, very cool. Yep, she'll be getting it soon, and I hope she loves it.
I had a guy work for me over Christmas for a month. He just finished up his engineering degree, and he hadn't found a job yet, so he moved back here where his family was. And within a month, he got a job for a company called Branch Technology, and they're 3D printing facades and fronts of buildings right now, which, I mean,
Cool.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason and Chad, he's popped in before. He works for the FAA out at McCarran Airport
Yeah.
here in Las Vegas, and he's into 3D printing. He's quite a maker, and he's been building the droids that we've been working on our weekly streams with the droid builds.
I gotta go, Jerry.
All right, hey, Dixon.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, Dixon Hoffman. Take
See
care.
you guys haters.
Take it
Nice
easy,
hanging out
man.
with you.
Take care.
Thanks for having me on, Jerry.
All righty. Thank you.
Yeah, but 3D printing houses is the way it's going to be now because, and they're going to use the same technology for printing when you go to like on Mars and stuff.
Yep.
That's their goal. You know, use local produce, mix it with something else, and turn it into a thick slurry, and then inject it out to build a building.
Oh, awesome.
Heck yeah.
I've been trying to get some of the companies that do 3D printing of houses to come on and chat with me, but they seem to be reluctant. I don't know why. But
Because it's a
they're-
gold mine.
Well, try to get them in a private chat and say we'll do
Yeah.
a private chat offline, and then we can discuss this and that.
I'm trying, but I'm trying just to get them to respond, but I don't know. I have to keep. I'm just going to keep pushing them because that would like we talk about 3D printing and it's cool, right? Because we make stuff for home and we make stuff for our friends and we make stuff for whatever, right? These guys are out there using the similar technology where they're pumping through concrete to build homes for people at a fraction of the cost for like we do stuff 3D printing because it's cheaper to make our own stuff, right? They're doing this to make homes cheaper for people who can't really afford $300,000-$500,000 mortgages, right?
But it's not just that. What about if you go into a natural disaster area and
Yep.
you print 300 square foot homes? They're not meant to be lived in for long, but you can live there for a couple of months until something happens, and they can put up a couple hundred of them in a week.
They can, bring in multiple machines and just they can do
And that's cheap.
print.
I mean,
And in California, there's hundreds of thousands of shipping containers you can buy there and around the country that are real cheap too. Drop
Yeah.
a shipping container in it, throw down a rug and a carpet, and you're good to go almost.
Yeah, just like the inside of it.
The full-size shipping container sells for about $2,000 used. At least that's what they used to be when I had my property out in Pahrump.
And some of them
What
are
about
insulated.
$5,000 one for
Yeah.
one now that the decent quality, not rotted out.
Yeah.
But you
and
can-
that's delivered.
They can come. You can buy some of those that are actually insulated as well.
Yep.
By the way they're built and they're sealed, so you can just basically move into them. You know, Kieran, he's the guy for the 3D printing project. He's in the UK or for north of Ireland. Kieran is he has a couple. They near where he lives. They have an industrial park. And the industrial park is containers.
Yeah.
You rent out a container. It's got power, whatever else you need.
We have that down on Fremont Street here in town. They got a container park, so like a big dragon out front that shoots fire, and all the businesses are. I've driven by it, but I've never stopped in. It's called Container Park.
Yeah. So he has a container that he does his 3D printing business out of.
Mhm.
And that's a part-time business, but still he makes money out of it. But he pays something like $40 or $50, or like the equivalent of $40 or $50 a month for this place, and he can run out and he runs these printers in there. Like, that's cheap.
I need to check my print and see if it got done yet.
Sure. So
$40 to $50 a month.
40 or 50.
Wow.
Dollars for to rent
per
a
month.
container?
He pays for his container or something like that, and
Wow.
then he just puts tables in there and rigs up the power he wants, and then he runs his printers in there. And it's sealed, it's insulated, but it's sealed against the weather because they maintain the outside of them to make sure they're good for use, you know.
Oh,
And
it's
that's
at
all he pays.
95%. 95%. Oh, here's a spawn that I started painting on. I don't have done yet, but
That looks good.
Yeah.
the hands are solid and everything else has been hollowed, 3 millimeters thick. It's very heavy. I've got the head hot glued on in this arm. The rest is glued solid because when I go to put the cape on, I have to be able to remove the head in this arm. But for painting purposes, I tacked them on with hot glue. So now I've got to go through and paint them. What's that?
That's a good idea. I've never tried that.
Yeah. Well, typically I don't want to paint every part individually like most people do, because I can work with it with a brush or an airbrush what I want. So I just use hot glue. And a lot of people, especially Tony Chambers at 3D Model Crowdfund, whenever I would print models, I would glue them together and throw pictures up all over social media, and then they're super glued together. I can't take them back apart. So what he would do is he would hot glue everything together. Then he can display pictures and then pull everything back apart to paint it.
Or if you sell it and you want to ship it.
Yeah, let's take it back
That'd
apart.
make it so much easier, I bet.
But
Cool idea.
That's sharp. Have you been selling a lot of models, Jerry?
no, I've got an Etsy store. I've only sold one sticker on. I've got a handful of models. Since I've sold nothing, I quit posting things on there. But obviously, I need to do something with all this. I got so much stuff. So
Yeah, well, imagine my basement is poured concrete as well.
Well, I might talk to you about, I could put some in a display or something maybe, because you just need to get visible, man. There's a huge market for that kind of stuff. There really is.
I even thought about having a yard sale, which I don't think would work, where I post it on Facebook. But then I don't want all kinds of random people walking in my room here, and I really don't want to put them all out front. So I don't know. Maybe I could take certain prints and then list it on a certain day. I'm going to sell certain things and have a table set up in the garage if I clean my garage up.
You guys have like a flea market there?
They have like a maker's market.
Yeah.
Your guys that do stuff like that.
Social media is the way to go, man. Social media, Jerry.
Facebook Marketplace truly in your local area. So many people shop Marketplace now.
When you print out a resin, they're perfect, and a lot of my prints behind me are FDM. And there's damage here and there, even though they're painted nice. There might be damage that you might not have seen in. You know what I'm saying? FDM don't print perfect. Sometimes you have layer line problems or where.
So I throw away a lot of prints that she gets mad I throw away because they're not perfect. And if I put a print out, I want somebody to look at it that's a printer and be like, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. But for a lot of that stuff, people want it no matter what,
Well, even a print that has damage on it, somebody else can prime it and repaint it, and they can fix it and make it perfect.
Yep.
So, and then they didn't have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars buying models. So,
yeah.
But something like this is printed perfect. There's no flaws in this whatsoever.
That's not sellable.
That's what I'm saying. So this thing, I was just practicing. See his knee? Just had a layer shift. Which way am I going here? Okay. See his knee?
Yeah.
So, and that's the only flaw on it. The knee shifted, and he didn't like it. And I was just practicing like alcohol ink painting on him, and doing some rub and buff, and figuring some stuff out. And I set it back there after I'd alcohol inked it all black, and this guy's like, "I don't care, I just want it." And Trevor's like, "No, do not sell that. No." Damn it, man.
But some people might want to take it and fix it because they're putting the knee shift.
What do you do? If instead of this $100.
Yeah, that was a problem I was having on that transform where I fixed it by changing my my pulse speed. I think originally it was set to like 200, and I lowered it down to 50, and that took care of that.
So the table was wobbling as it lifted.
No, there's no wobble. It was, if you've seen a transform, dude, that'll pull a 150-pound weight up with that lead screw. It was not coming off that FEP properly. And it was some problem with the FEP. And I did some reading. Everybody's like, slow it down. And yeah, once I got to about 50, that problem stopped. But it happened on 3 prints. I've also had problems where if I print 2 pieces side by side, it almost always has problems with the prints in the exact same spot.
Here's a picture right here I can show you. Now, I type in the word snip, S-N-I-P on Windows 10, and it's like a screenshot. And every time I print something, I always snip a picture of it. So if I want to do a video, I can post it.
Yeah.
And where's my share button? Oh, duh. Let's see. This is one of my failures that I had. I don't know if you can read that. Let's see. Where do I make? Can I make it full screen? Are you able to read the numbers down below on that?
Yeah.
Exposure time is set at 3, and I can't go over the exposure time. Most people do it at 2.5 when it's stock. They go to 275. I increased it to 3. But on these prints, they were hollowed, but they're very heavy prints. The bed adhesion was fine. The supports were fine, but everything else ripped off. My lift speed is set at 60.
Go to 5 seconds.
What?
Go to 5 seconds. If your supports don't come off easy, on your time, exposure time, go to 5 seconds.
I was told on that screen I would burn it up if I cranked it up so high.
No, what'll burn it out is not waiting. If you have a wait time, I always put a wait time of 1 second, but no.
Because I know on the Elegoo Mars, on that other screen, it's like 9 or 10 or something really ridiculously high. And everybody's saying...
You might find 4.5's perfect, but I would say go higher, and you'll know it's exposed too long when the supports don't just pull off like wet spaghetti anymore, and they want.
Oh, I have trouble getting them off.
Yeah, so then drop it half a second.
So the very first figure where I got the mouse, you think if I increase that to 5, it might solve all my problems and leave everything else alone?
I would go with more time. I don't know that 5's the right number. It might be 4.5. It might be 4. But I would go up.
Yeah, when you get the printer new, it's like 2.5, and people say go to 2.7.
I disagree. So Trevor, you're saying to go to 5 seconds on the normal exposure settings?
Well, I'm saying he needs more. If everything's sticking, but the print is coming off from the supports, and you feel, I mean, look at that support density. You got good support density. What's it? 60% probably, 70.
Yeah, it's medium.
You need to maybe check the contact depth, how far the support is going in. You could mess around with that.
I increased that by 5 from the stock setting. When I first got the printer, I increased that by 5. But if I put ZYLTECH resin in here and reprint these, they'll come out perfect the way it is.
I don't even go over 2 seconds at 100%. Like on the Mono X, you can adjust the power of the LED light or whatever, and I have it set to 100%, and the max I'll do is 2 seconds. I'll never go past. That's more than enough. I don't know about 5 seconds on a mono screen. I don't know about that.
Well, like I said, I did the test on my transform, and the resin cures at 1.4 seconds, but it's not strong enough to hold on to the part because that transform bed is huge, and that FEP has a lot of resistance when it pulls off. And I had to go up to 4 seconds on mine before everything held perfect, every support every time.
Is the transform a mono screen?
It's a mono 4K, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not alone in what I found. So
yeah, whatever.
By no means am I any kind of expert. I print a lot of resin, a lot.
3DRS sent me 3 bottles of resin, $150 total for all 3 bottles. It's expensive resin. And the 1 bottle I did, like I said, I had a lot of failures. And then I said, okay, let's put some minis on there. I won't load up the bed. They managed to print. I've got 2 more bottles I'm waiting to do videos on because I got to tweak my settings. I got to get them right. But I'll try it.
Don't be afraid to change your support density up as high as 80% either. So.
Especially doing big ones, right?
Well, just it's that shear force on the FEP. Every time a flare gets bigger, you're going to have a bigger problem with that.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm in Cheetah Box right now.
But overexposing the LCD will cause problems with the LCD. It will shorten its life because the UV light does break down the LCD.
My contact depth in Cheetah Box is set to 0.50 right now. And stock, I think it was 45, and I increased it to 50.
What's your support density at, though?
I'm looking on the screen here for that word.
What are you on? The light,
Density,
medium, or heavy support?
density's at 50%.
What support are you on? Light, medium, or heavy?
Medium. And cheetah box.
And your contact depth is what?
My depth is 0.50.
So I maintain mine at 0.3. But like I said, on the transform, I had to go up to 80% density too.
Yeah, I keep mine at 0.3 as well.
Contact depth?
0.3.
0.30? 0.30, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What's the upper diameter?
0.40.
Okay.
Yeah, the only settings I changed was the contact depth in here. I left everything else stock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I don't know. Wait until you get your Mono X and try it, and you'll see the difference.
So, in Cheetah Box, both of you guys, what do you have for your density? You set up to 80. I got set at 50, 50.00.
It all depends on what model I'm printing. You know.
Yeah.
It changes. It changes on every different. Most of the time it changes every model that I'm doing.
Yeah, ZYLTECH is perfect with anything, but like I say, with some resins, it's like, why is this happening?
701. Yeah. Well, not all resins are created equal. Not all resins. I'm an eSun dealer, and I use eSun resin almost exclusively.
Yeah.
And even my different colors, I have a profile for each color because black absorbs the UV light different than white or clear or anything else. And, you got to get all that dialed in. But
black cures easy because the light doesn't penetrate, whereas clears you have to decrease the amount of exposure because you'll get overexposure and you won't get sharp edges because it's exposing the resin too deep because the light can pass through it. So the more pigmentation you have in your material, in your resin, the better, sharper corners and edges you'll get and more point finish than you will if you go with something that's partly translucent or completely translucent like the clear. Because the clear will round out the corners if you don't drop your exposure rates.
Okay, I was on the top tab. We're talking all the settings I was telling you is on the top tab button. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got top, middle, bottom, and raft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my exposure time, which is at 3 seconds, I'm trying to see where is that in here. Oh, that's the setting screen. So I'm trying to figure out what to tweak right now while we're talking here. Because if you tell me something, I'll forget it later.
When do you get your Mono X?
I'm not sure. 3 or 4 days. Within the next 5 days, I'll have it. Because Trevor was talking about going up to 5 seconds.
Well, even 4.5, but add more time.
I'm just trying
to figure out. Blow your screen out by adding a second to it.
Go up to 4 and try it.
Try it, try it on the print, see if it works.
Okay, here it is. It's under print and settings.
For sure.
Exposure time is set at 3, so take it up to 5.
4. No, go to 4. Try 4. Don't go too high because you'll overexpose. You want to find the sweet spot. So bring it up 1 second each time, and then to figure out which one works.
Okay, change it to 4.
I've had to go as high as 5.5 on resins on my transform. So.
Wow.
Well, and again, I'm not saying to cure it like to stick to the build plate. I can print stuff and get it no problem with 2 seconds. But on the transform, I'm printing a model that's 350 millimeters tall.
Really heavy.
So it will fall right off the supports. The same problem you're having. My supports are all there. I have to take that thing off, scrape it off the plate.
Do you ever pause your model, lift it up, and look at it and reprint? I've never done that.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work on a lot of the transforms like it did on EQ.
Yeah, I figured if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if it's printing, I don't want to mess with it.
If I don't hear the FET popping real loud, I'll look, and you can look at the resin in the vat, and when the print goes in, you should see it rise up. And if I see that, then it's good enough until it gets high enough to see. But
what's the build area on the transform?
Oh man,
I don't think
I don't think it's big enough to do a helmet, but you could do half a helmet.
I don't think we can compare the transform settings with the Mono X settings or the Mighty settings. That's why on the transform he has to put higher exposure settings. With the Mono X or the Mighty. I don't think you. I mean, but try it.
Yeah,
it's got some bright light, but it's 292 by 165 by 400.
Yeah. So you definitely need more supports, and you need more. You probably need your exposure settings a couple of seconds more, so that way it cures it and it's strong to hold that big model you're making. Versus the Mono X, I don't think so.
1 second on a lot of resins on my Sonics. Now that has their ParaLED 3.0, which is like ultra bright, but still, I had to go from 1 second, and I never had problems on a standard size at 1 second, 1.5 seconds.
I don't change settings every time I load a model. I just have something generic in there that works, and then I just slice it and print it.
You should have a profile for every material maker and color.
The way it works, at least on frozen printers, all but the Sonic Mini, is you have profiles and then you have files. And every file, you just put what profile you want to print it with before you print it.
Yeah.
So I have a profile, since I just use eSun, black.
Well, yeah,
black,
when I go,
just down the list.
I go in a Cheetah box and I pick whatever printer I'm printing on, and then I slice it.
But the same applies for FDM, right? Different colors print at different temperatures to get the optimal, and retraction for different colors, because the additives can change the properties of the material.
Yeah, when I first got into FDM printing, before I had the printer, I bought a bunch of Hatchbox PLA. I bought like 10 rolls, all different colors, not knowing what I needed, and yeah, they all print differently.
Yeah, like some people say, like I don't like. I'll give someone ballpark figures where they can start from, but I don't like where people are saying, "What's the best temperatures for this? What's the best temperature?" It's going to even change from printer to printer, because the way your hot end works in printer one, if you bought two printers from the same manufacturer, it's going to be slightly different. That's why temperature towers are needed. Retraction towers are needed.
I've never in my life done a temp tower, and I print everything at all PLA at 210 and 60, and it's never failed me.
When you're print at 210, you're printing at the high end of PLA.
Yeah,
I print PLAs at 200, or between 200 and 205, depending on the PLA. But and I've even done some at 195, and it prints.
And if my extruder randomly starts clicking, I'll just crank the temp up 5 degrees, which usually doesn't solve the problem, but it has.
I do temp towers and everything. If I get a new color of a material that I've never used before, I'll temp tower it. I'll retraction set it. I'll do all of that and build a profile for it.
You heard ZYLTECH. They told you on your show 223 is their magic number.
223.
That was what they said on your show when you had Leslie and her guy on there.
I don't remember. What were they talking about? PLA or PETG?
They're PLA.
Huh.
So every material is different.
But yeah, I run almost all 220, and I'm happy. I feel like the hotter I can cook it, the better it bonds to the last layer. And
I agree.
And if you're going to paint a model and you prime it, I mean, a print might come out perfect. You go, wow, check this out. The minute you throw primer on it, you're going to see how it really looks. Because then you'll see all your under extrusion issues or your pits or this or that.
Yeah, well, if you print it too hot, you run into some issues, right? And if you're running PLA too hot, one, it's too liquid, so you get a lot of oozing, a lot more oozing than you should have. So stringing can become a problem, right? And when you retract, you're retracting liquid up out of the nozzle. That can cause problems, especially on Bowden tube printers, because it'll stick. The more liquid it is, the higher chance it's going to get between the Bowden tube and the nozzle, can create a bonding in there and create clogs. So that's why that's why temp towers is the way. Well, I think, my opinion, is $5 will get you bad coffee at a Starbucks, right? But if you do that, you're going to get the optimal settings for each part. Because go on,
Trevor. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say I've never printed PLA at 220 ever. The only time I went above. Sorry, I lied.
I just run PLA.
You don't lie, not
I
you.
do. Well, I lied because I printed PLA at 230 degrees, but I was running it at 150 millimeters a second. That's why I was doing it at 230 because I needed to melt it faster. And that's the only time I do it. When I up the speed, I up the temperature because you need to melt more material in a faster time.
I went up to 235 on that project with a 1 millimeter, but you could see the spool just going like that. It was going so fast.
Yeah, I've done that. There's the Weedo. I have the Weedo X40. I have that printer, and it has options for speed. When you go into speed, it is 25, 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, up to 600 times speed. Right now, will it print at that speed if you crank up the temp? Yes, it will. But because it's when it moves, it's moving fast. The whole printer vibrates.
When I get that model done, that's what it's going to look like.
It's going to look fantastic.
I'll be done painting it tomorrow.
Hey, Jerry, how long are you going to be on? I got to go to the store real quick, and I'll come back.
Two more hours.
Hey, Jerry, I sent you a photo on Facebook of that project we did with the 1 millimeter nozzle.
I'll see you guys.
Later, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Later, Trevor. Later, guys.
Chris, yes, you do need to increase your temperature by about 5 degrees when you use hardened steel.
Hey, Trevor, there's been something wrong with Facebook lately. When people PM me pictures, I can't click on them, but I can see them and I can't save them. Okay. So I don't know why. I mean, I want to show this, but I can't click on it and make it big, and I can't right-click and save it. If I hit, it only has save as an HTML file, so I don't know what's going on with Facebook.
What, email it to you?
Yeah. jenap1@yahoo.com.
What is it? J-Nap?
JENAP1 at yahoo.com.
And built over, yes, the room temperature and the humidity can affect how your prints turn out.
What do you say? JNAP1 at JENAP1 at what?
Yahoo.com.
Sorry.
Jerry, middle name Eugene, last name Knapp. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Yeah, so many things can affect the way you print. And going from PLA to PDG to nylon to whatever, it's.
Well, I have the advantage, like on my print farm, I run eSun, PLA Plus, white or black. That's it. So
I just ordered 10 rolls of PLA Plus. How do you like it?
I love it. That's all I use. eSun is the most consistent filament and resin manufacturer, in my opinion, period. I don't have inconsistencies. I don't have problems. I load it on the printer and it works. I can go through 10, 15 rolls before I ever even change a nozzle. I mean, I never have problems. Being at the mall here and everybody wants stuff printed in silks and all these other colors, I run through nozzles all the time on other machines where I run those colors through and stuff.
What
but
kind
when
of
I run eSun white or black, that's it. No
what kind
problem.
of temps? What kind of temps on the PLA Plus?
I do 220 on the PLA and I do 45 on the bed. If it's an articulating part with like an octopus where it's got like 40 small parts, I'll crank the bed up to 60. Technically, you don't even need heat on a bed with PLA Plus. I do it, it works. So,
and you do 45 just to save a couple dollars here and there, right?
It eliminates any warping problems. The only time I ever had warping problems was when I went higher temps. And that was just because older printers didn't have consistent bed heating. That
looks like the cat that I printed about 3 or 4 inches tall, but that's like a lot, 5.5 feet, 6 feet.
And it's a lattice as well.
It was for a landscaping company, and what they did, what topiaries are? Like you go to Disney World and all the bushes are in shapes of different animals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what they did was they packed it full of flower seed and dirt like a chia pet and let it grow out and then just trimmed it.
Nice.
So
what I see, I don't know, 30, 40 parts there probably?
39.
39.
Okay. That's close.
I used glue band to split it up. It worked like a charm. Everything fit together.
How'd you glue it? With super glue or gloop, or would you use?
I didn't. Ricky did. It was hell for a week while she super glued it. She'd zip tie the pieces together and then super glue them and fill them in with baking soda so it looked real pretty.
The best
and
thing
then
that works is the acetone. One side on acetone, other side is. I'm gluing shit together right now. The big, thick CA big bottles that you can get from Amazon.
Yeah.
So, and then if it had too much of a gap, because it didn't have to be perfect, they were going to pack it with dirt and it didn't have to be So, yeah. Then fill in the holes. Yep, that's it.
I use this on everything, a spray activator.
Yep.
What I used to do is put glue on one side, activator on the other, but I misaligned so many parts and screwed them up. So now I glue them together and I just blast the joint.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is it turns it white.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll stain it.
Something what works on the acetone too. If it's a part if you're going to paint it, you're just going to prime over the acetone kind of stain anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
But petroleum jelly on my paintbrush. I sand out the acetone a little bit. At first I used Crisco in the kitchen. I was like, it's got to be something oily would take that white out. So I went and tried Crisco, and that worked pretty good. But today my daughter brought me in petroleum jelly to clean all of our brushes and condition some better brushes. And I was like, that sounds greasy. I sanded out a glue. I over glued and my glue coming out on the side of the Among Us guy. Can't even see it now.
So I'll throw out some non-scientific knowledge here because I see Chris talking about a hardened nozzle from Micro Swiss. I'm a Micro Swiss dealer. I install them on printers at least 2 or 3 a week, and every one of my printers has a Micro Swiss. So, I think all printers should have an all-metal hot end using PTFE tubings just to get a cheap one out. That being said, throw that stupid steel nozzle away. Brass nozzles all the way. Cheap dollar brass nozzles have never done me wrong. I feel it's the way the plastic flows over the brass. It works so well. I went with the Nozzle X from E3D, which is like a $23 or $30 nozzle by the time you got it from the UK. Had problems. Steel hardened nozzles had problems. Went back to brass. I've never had a problem since.
Well, I use stock quality hot ends, brass nozzles. My ZYLTECH Hypercube is the only thing that has a volcano hot end on it, but that also has a brass nozzle on it. I've never tried anything else.
I have hardened steel on one of my printers because I've used it for phosphorescent material, glow in the dark. And if anything that's abrasive, if you don't use a hard nozzle, the abrasive material will eat up the nozzle within a spool or so. It's gone.
At Halloween, for instance, being in the mall, I print these little ghosts and add a glow in the dark, and we give them away for Halloween treats. I can go through 2 rolls of glow in the dark before there's any noticeable change in a brass nozzle.
You get about 1 to 2 rolls out of it. That's about average. Yeah.
You buy them for 50 cents a piece even. So to me, I would rather have reliability. I don't know why the hardened nozzles don't last as long without clogging. They just give me problems. I think
I don't have problems with mine.
Stick to the inside may be better. I don't know, but brass works. It just does.
As I said, I've used hardened steel. I've never had a problem with it. And I use it for phosphorescent material because I do some when I want to do something so I can see it in the dark from my telescope. I'm going to print it in glow in the dark because I want to be able to see it at nighttime, right? And I use that. That's the only one I use it for.
Glow in the dark will hold its glow for what? 10, 15 minutes?
Oh, no. An hour.
2 hours.
Oh, yeah?
And I carry, the UV light that you have, Jerry?
Yeah.
I carry the UV light. So when I'm out doing astronomy stuff and looks like it's dying down, I go over and I shine the light in it for a second. And it's back to as if it just got blasted by the sun.
Okay,
and
UV is better than a flashlight?
Oh yeah. Because UV is higher energy, and what actually happens is the energy goes in to I'm going to get sciencey, nerd alert. But what happens is how glow in the dark phosphorescence works is the energy is absorbed by the material, the phosphorescent material, but it gets locked inside and. It's not supposed to ever escape, but there's a weird quantum effect, a mistake in quantum mechanics that allows a little bit to leak out. It's like a radioactive half-life. So it actually breaks down and slowly allows some of that energy out. And the reason why it comes out green is the amount of some of the energy from the light going in is lost as heat inside the material. And so the lower energy light, instead of being UV, is the green color. So you get green and red is the most common phosphorescent. But it's a mistake in a little quirk in quantum mechanics that allows the energy back out. So that's how it works. So you're actually basically releasing the light back out, or the energy created from the light over time. Sorry, nerd alert over.
I like it. Yeah, you have better luck than I did, Chris. I have a whole bucket.
I haven't printed with wood in a long time. I still have some tie-ants from years ago. I printed a couple Groots in it, and it printed fine. It's just you had to flush the nozzle with the next PLA for quite a while to get all those particles out of there. But I didn't have any clogging issues. But I've heard a lot of people do have problems.
The best thing to do for clearing is to buy a piece of cheap nylon, a filament. Cheapest one you can get out there, not any nylon.
So what about go in my garage for my weed eater and use that if it's the right diameter?
I don't know if it's maybe, but what you do is you heat the hot end, push some nylon in, and do a cold pull with the nylon.
Yeah, as it cools down, yank it out. Yeah,
because the nylon will bond with everything. Yeah, it'll bond with everything in there, and when you pull it so strong, it won't break, and it'll pull everything out with it. That's the best.
Yeah, I've heard when you're supposed to rip it out.
You're breaking out. What'd you say? 120?
169. I've read is the magic
69. Yeah, I can remember that number easy enough. 169. Okay.
Yeah. So, but a cold pull with nylon with some cheap nylon filament is the best way to clear the nozzle.
Okay.
You'd be amazed how if you might want to do it 2 or 3 times, but because you'd be amazed at the black gunk that comes out of that nozzle. You'd be amazed what's stuck in there.
Yeah. It's funny. Years ago, I bought some cleaner. It was filament cleaner.
I've heard good and bad with that, and it's expensive.
It wasn't too bad, but they marketed it to run it every time you change PLA. But then, like a year later, I figured out that that's not even what it's for. It's to clean your extruder gears.
It does.
It's to clean the PLA off your gears.
But it also does your hot end, but it's so expensive. Cleaner filament is very expensive, and it's pointless when you can just buy cheap nylon and do a cold pull and be done with it.
My extruder gear, unfortunately, I take a razor blade or a little screwdriver and I try to scrape at it, and then I get some compressed air and blow it out.
I use a brass brush.
Yeah.
You buy it in Harbor Freight, a little brass brush, brush them off, just rotate it and brush them off, and you're done.
Yeah.
But but you only get bad fully clogged extruder gear if you're over retracting or if you got clogs. If you're over retracting, it actually chews its way through the material. Or if your
nozzle's too low.
Yeah, the nozzle too low. That's similar to a clog. Yeah, you can't push the material out, so it actually digs in and grinds at the material. But I've had printers been going for 6 months before I even brush off the extruder gear because they're so clean.
And with my extruders I got from McWeen 3D out of Florida, I think that's how you pronounce it, Ryan McWeen, McEwen or McWeen. I have his same extruders on all my printers with hardened steel gears. Inlet size has Capricorn tubing really close to the extruder gear, and on the outside has a steel sleeve. Printing with 95A shore hardness on TPU, it works usually fine. One time my nozzle was too close and it backed out of the extruder, really rare. But since I bought the other TPU, which is the soft stuff, whatever the hardness is.
NinjaFlex?
It was like NinjaFlex. It's that other brand that I bought. And I automatically went straight to the FL Sun and threw it in there. That way it can't back out of the FL Sun. And I printed my tracks for the Tito Droid at 100%. I went to 101 or 102, and they were too big, still turning. So I reprinted them at 100. And he kind of drives, but they're still – the drive motor – wheel is still slipping, even though the material is really soft.
I like the 97A. That's my favorite one to use. I had problems with NinjaFlex, but standard
Yo-Yu, I think it's called Yo-Yu or Yayu, the filament company that I'm using now.
Yosi is one I bought. Y-O-S-I maybe?
Let me look.
I used one called Yosi, and it was great at first, and then their winding went downhill. And when you look at it, it looked like, I don't know, like kinky hair kind of, making those Z's. and it would always get caught in the extruder because it all. Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Yo-yi.
So, yeah, it was wavy. That was the problem. Is when you'd look at it straight, there'd be all kinds of waves, and it would never go through the extruder well.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Oh,
Good on, buddy.
just got back. Had to go and pick up a printer. What'd I miss?
Not much.
I'm out of here,
We were
guys.
sitting here
It's great
staring at
talking.
each other while
Thank
you
you,
were
Trevor.
away.
Take care. Thank you for
Thank
stopping
you.
in.
Nice talking to you guys. See you later,
Appreciate
Leo.
it.
All right, take care.
All right,
Sam.
man. Bye.
Trevor's a nice guy. I like him.
Yes, great guy. And we're still live at Trevor's store. So, hey, everybody, come in here and get the deals. They're giving away stuff.
Yeah. Trevor has a TV and a big screen TV in his front of his store, and his speakers there. So when he's on live streaming, we're on the front of his store. So it was on Saturdays when we do live stream with Trevor or hang out with Trevor, he's always streaming us on his store.
Yeah, here was a few weeks ago. Anyway.
Yeah, you were muted there, Jerry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, people walking by are seeing a TV of a TV, and Liam was up there, then I was in the middle, and whoever else was on screen at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed out on the $1 million giveaway. I was giving away money earlier, and I ran out.
Really? Oh,
That would be so cool to be rich and be able to just throw money at people like somebody else in the community that we know. That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can take care of all your own needs and it's like, what do I do with it all? Then you just randomly buy people things. That would be so cool, fun to do. Be awesome.
And it's also like, and he has a 3D printing business and stuff, and it's also good advertising for his business because it's PR. But that's okay, but because he's helping others out and he's encouraging people in the industry, and it's fantastic,
Yeah, like when I gave away the printer, I could have kept it, but I chose to give it away because I have too many. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
And I occasionally I have ZYLTECH, whoever, they give me donations and I give away stuff. It's a matter of I ask them and they send.
Did you give away a Prusa Mini?
No, but I got donations from everybody so I could buy a Prusa Mini, and they said it's going to take 14 to 16 weeks to get here. I ordered it probably 3 weeks ago. And why does it take so long? Because I wanted to save $50. If you pay $50 less, you get what they call a kit, and it takes 14 to 16 weeks. If you pay $50 more, they'll mail it to you in 4 weeks, which makes no sense to me. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, time is money.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the printer you gave away again?
The Ender 3 V2 from Trevor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he, like I say, he gets Amazon returns in. He goes through and makes sure that they work. He warranties them for, I think, 90 days, I think is what he told me. And he was either going to send it to me or I could give it away if I wanted to. So I figured, well, I have too many and I've already reviewed it, so I can't do a video on it. So let's go ahead and give it away. So.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of cool that we can get, like, and the person who got one is into printing, so it's going to be new for her.
Yeah, I'll take up my exposure time because I was hearing from multiple people, oh, no, you can't go over 3, and 3 is really high. You're going to burn out your screen. Trevor's got some big printers, and I'll take it to 5 and try it. But like I said, it sucks to waste all that resin. Whether I bought it or got it for free, I have a video to do, and then I'm losing print after print. And you go and you check it out 8, 12, 14 hours later, and it's like you take off the top, and it's like you see all the supports. Where's the model? So it's in the vat and it's stuck to the FEP. So maybe increasing exposure time will work with that resin.
Well, do a small print and go to 4 seconds and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And if it succeeds there, then try it on the bigger print.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Something, because it's all based off height, time-wise. I can fill up the whole build plate. If it's an inch tall, it'll print. I'm going to throw out a number, let's say an hour, just to throw out a number. But if I print one item, that height, it still takes an hour because it's based off layer height.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of those resin printers, because the entire exposure is one layer.
It's not like FDM where you have to move around from part to part and lay material down.
FDM's just an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, but it's an Etch-a-Sketch that doesn't have as many safety issues.
Etch-a-Sketches have safety issues?
No, I'm saying you said it's like the FDM is an Etch-a-Sketch. And I said it's like it's like the Etch-a-Sketch, but with resins you have a lot more safety issues than you have with FDM. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, heck, if you're using terrible like reused containers, all of a sudden you just went and picked up a mug and you thought it was coffee, but all of a sudden it was resin. That's no good.
Yeah, I agreed. So it's Oh, he says she's probably watching the stream. Piltover said. Well,
I'm writing down what Mr. and Mrs. Diesel said here, so I can research it.
Up to 80% in 2 seconds per layer. Yeah, but overexposing your screen, you want to be careful of. It does cause damage to them. That's why that's why screens go bad.
Well, what's so sad about it is that when I have on my Elegoo Mars, the small one, like I said, I printed hundreds of prints with only 2 failures. Then I get the big one, and it's like, it's like I got my eyes closed and I'm stupid.
Bigger failures.
Failure after failure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I've done some really big prints on my now, and I don't get them very often, failures, but on my Inner 5 Plus, I've done some big prints in there, and some of them take days and days and days, and you could be 4 days into a 5-day print, and 4.5 days in, you get it. Something goes wrong, and that's disheartening when that happens, you know. But it's part of what we do, right? But the reason why we do it is because we can always kick it off and go again. I know resin is very costly to do so, but on FDM you can just kick it off and do it again and repeat the process. You know, it's not that hard. So if you get a resin printer, you need to start with a small printer. No,
you don't have to, but you should. By small, I'm saying get a Frozen Mighty 4K, a Frozen Mini 4K. Would be a good option, and they're very reasonable. Get one with a 4K screen. Do not buy an original Elegoo Mars like I got. So it depends what you want to print. Do you want to print really big things? Do you want to print minis? I mean, most of my statues I print, like something like this, you can print on the mini, but because you print everything in parts. And then most models that you buy from people, they have different scales on how big or how small you can print them. Now, if I had a big giant frozen, what's it called? The great big one, like
which one?
The really big giant printers, the Phenon. If you had a Phenon, you could print this in one piece. But on mine, I can't. But it doesn't matter. You can print in multiple pieces, and you just glue it together.
What do you use to slice up your parts, your models?
What
do you use to slice your models?
Cheetah box.
Oh, okay. I just use Mesh Mixer.
Yeah, they got Lychee and you got Cheetah box. Your only options for resin, basically. And I have Lychee. I haven't learned how to use it. I haven't experimented with it. I use Cheetah box.
Yeah, I don't do an awful lot of resin, but I use Mesh Mixer to slice up my model if I need to.
Okay. Mesh Mixer, does that have support generation built in?
You don't need support generation. You do the Mesh Mixer is only for modifying the STL to bring it into smaller parts. Your Cura does your supports.
Well, for instance, I had a cape the other day from Sanix, from 3D Model, from Dennis Moore, the cape that I'm doing for Sanix. One piece was too big, so I know NetFab because I've never used Mesh Mixer. So I threw it in NetFab and I just sliced the corner of the part of the cape off. I didn't want to go down the middle. I just took the corner off. That was my problem area. And then I exported each part as an STL, threw it in Cheetah box, threw on supports, and I printed it.
Yeah,
which should be done here any minute.
Yeah, I just use a different piece of software to do the same work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never changed because I know how I learned how NetFab works, so I just use NetFab.
Yeah, it's basically and actually. Idea Maker, like for FDM, Idea Maker, you can actually slice apart. You can put a slice on a part in Idea Maker. It's built in. You just set a plane and slice on that plane is all you have to do.
Well, if I'm printing FDM and I want to cut a part, I can usually leave it simplified 3D. I just double click on the model, I drop it through the bed and just whack it. And then you'll see your model on the build surface being below the bed, but it's only going to print whatever's above the bed.
I use that method to, if you ever have a fail print, like it's printing so far and it fails, if what you do is you measure, trusty calipers, important, measure the exact height with the calipers, and what you do is you drop your Z, that amount, and print the remaining, and then you glue it one part on top of the other, and you're done.
Yeah. Or depending on the way the model is shaped, sometimes you can eyeball it by looking at it and guesstimate it.
Yeah, but I'd rather just pick a height and measure that way than you.
Yeah, I have been wrong before doing that, and I've seen a few people that once they guesstimate it, they'll go and print a couple layers, stop the print, and they'll check to make sure it fits.
Yeah.
Dummy me will print the whole piece out and realize it's wrong. No. Then I try to cut it or sand it and then glue it, and it's just a pain in the ass.
Print 2 layers, take it out,
and then stop it, check
see if it fits. If you think if it's too wide, you adjust, and are too low, you adjust. Yeah, but
no Cura doesn't slice for resin printers. It's only for FDM.
Yeah.
Hey Dan, thank you very much, Dan. Smash the like button, everybody. Subscribe. Ring that bell to be notified the next time I go live. And if you want some really cool discounts, they're down below in the description. There's all kinds of stuff you can click on for discounts.
Yep. But but it's. Who said it does better with mechanical parts? I don't know how. I just know I've printed mechanical parts. I haven't looked into the details of it, but it does a way better job at printing mechanical parts. It's not only its accuracy, but its surface finish is way better than most of the other sites I've used.
Liam has multiple personalities, and sometimes Ike takes over, and you have to overlook that. Sometimes when Ike starts talking, he doesn't know. Ike, remember Ike?
Oh yeah, right.
Okay. And if anybody,
about that.
if somebody asks me in chat, I'll explain what Ike is. But hey, we've got the blue tape man himself.
Oh,
Garage Door Llama. What's up, buddy?
So
everything been fixed with blue painter tape, all right, Dama?
Gotta have it. Blue tape is the ultimate 3D printing accessory.
I've never printed on blue tape, but I have plenty.
I've never
saved prints, I bet, though. Have you used it to save a
yes, I've used it to save.
Yes.
Yeah, I've used super glue. The bed's going like this. They're trying to glue it and get in there and spray it with activator, and I try to wrap things real quick. Yeah.
Everybody who's anybody who's 3D printed has used blue tape.
You go, oh no! And sometimes even when you can't save the print, it'll start printing in midair and it'll eventually fix itself.
Yeah,
funny. I haven't printed on blue tape in like 2 years.
Yeah, I've used it for a part that I think was going to start getting loose, and it's rare, but when it happens, put a bit of blue tape across it, and it holds the base down.
You know the problem with TPU on flex plates?
It doesn't come off.
It flexes with the plate.
Well, what I find is if it sticks too much, if you get a piece of tissue,
it's not.
I know, but I'm saying in some surfaces it'll stick too much. If you get a bit of tissue and wet it and lift the corner and stick it in there, you'll get capillary reaction, and the water will actually seep under the TPU and just travel underneath it between it and the bed, and it will just fall off on its own.
I've discovered with TPU, I just automatically glue stick to bed, because then I don't worry about what bed material. Like TPU will stick this mat. If you don't glue tape it or glue stick it, it'll stick right to this mat and it'll come off, but it ain't easy.
Yeah, but try the water trick.
Yeah,
the water trick.
I just automatically glue. Automatically glue stick to bed now if I'm printing TPU.
Yeah,
because that way it don't matter if I'm using PEI, if I'm using steel sheet. I printed right on the back side of this with glue stick with TPU. As long as you got glue stick, it'll stick and it comes right off later.
Yeah. Well, as I said, if TPU sticks too much, and it's hard to get off, so you don't tear it apart. So a bit of tissue or a spray bottle of water and wet it, and what will happen is the water will actually travel between the bed and the rubber, and actually cause separation naturally.
Well, especially
capillary reaction is what it is. Yeah.
It'll dissolve the glue.
Well, there's no glue in
bad
this case.
TPU.
But what happens is capillary reaction will take. It's like you hold a straw in. If you hold a really narrow straw into water, you'll see the water rise up through the straw. That's capillary reaction because of.
Hey, we've got a rock star coming in right now. We've got DB3D Dan. Hey, Dan.
Hey,
Hey, man. Long time.
Hey, so,
how's it going? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I just spent some time with the CyberDeck guys over. They had a CyberDeck Cafe stream they're doing right now too. So I was over there for a while, checking that out and talking to them. And my wife has perfect timing. I kid you not. Like I sat down, I started the stream. I'm starting talking to these guys. She comes in, sits down. She's like, "Who are these guys? I don't remember these guys." And I said, "These are the CyberDeck guys. They're the ones who make the cool little computers and stuff. And they design their own keyboards and whatnot. And they 3D print a lot of things." So, you know, they invited me to come hang out and chat for a little while. So I popped in and she goes, "Oh, okay, cool." And then I unmuted my mic and I told her, I'm like, "I'm sorry, guys, I'm not ignoring you. And I know my mic is muted. I'm talking to my wife. She's sitting right off, just off the camera." I was like, talking to my wife, just explaining who you guys are and what you guys do. So I got the Discord up over here. And I'm showing her some pictures of you guys' stuff, and the guys like didn't hesitate. They like grab their CyberDeck, they pop them up on screen. They're like, "Look!" And my wife's like, "Oh, I like the purple one." So one of the guys, he's got like a big purple CyberDeck that he built up, and my wife was like, "Oh, I like that." And then she goes, "I need one with a key or with a number pad, though." And the guys, I'm like, "You can do that as an add-on, honey. This is the best part about these CyberDeck builds is they're building custom systems for them and what they need." She goes, "So you could build me a number pad for the laptop?" I said, "Yeah, that's possible." She goes, "Oh," and then the guys are telling her, they're like, "Yeah, you can do that kind of stuff,
Look at that comment.
That's it's work release. Okay, this is part of my community service. Okay.
Awesome.
However, I have to say, gentlemen, this is the first time in a while that I've had anything to like drink alcohol wise. So I seem a little more relaxed tonight. It's because I've had an alcoholic beverage, and I might have another one before Llama streams. So we'll see how that goes.
My wife says when I do my videos, I'm too one tone when I explain stuff. So I figured, okay, I'll either have to drink or get high for one of my streams, and then tape it and see how that goes.
Oh yeah. My wife was like, "You need to take the kids to the store so that they can get snacks and dinner and stuff." And I was like, "Okay." And my youngest son, he's got his permit. He wanted to drive. I said, "Okay." As we're pulling out of the driveway, he pulls up to the edge of the driveway and he stops. And he's looking both ways and looking both ways and looking both ways. We live on a road that is one of the more busy ones. I know that sticker. And the guy who gives them out's a dick, though, I heard.
Yeah, and he looks like a convict, I hear.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He's some kind of freaking weirdo, that dude.
Yeah. But to wrap the story. Oh, sorry.
I don't know if these guys know yet, but me and Dan are going to be streaming in a half an hour doing a giveaway because I hit 500 subs today.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Congratulations.
What are you giving away?
We're giving away 2 $25 gift certificates to Printed Solid at this point.
Do you want to give away some rolls of yellow filament? I can PayPal you.
If you would like to, that's just fine. We're going over in about a half an hour.
Okay, let me know when you're doing it. I'll end my stream because I need to win some.
Yeah, well, it's funny because we were going to do it like an hour ago.
Yeah.
And me and Dan were going over, and Dan goes, Jerry's going to be streaming. I'm like, damn it, we can't do it then.
You wanna,
so I put it off 2 hours.
You want to toss your PayPal link into the private chat there so that I can go do that?
What?
Do you want to,
Mike? If you want, Mike, just PayPal me, and then whoever wins the filament, I'll go ahead and do what I did before. Yeah, you PayPal me money. I'll go ahead, buy filament, and ship it to them. And it's from you. It's your giveaway item, and we'll leave it like that. So,
Tom, you already have the stream scheduled?
Yeah, for 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I was originally going to do it at 7 o'clock, but like he said, he was like, "Oh, Jerry streams every Saturday." I was like, "Oh, damn it!"
Yeah.
All right. So, well, do what you got to do. I mean, there's so many people that stream online. It's hard to figure out when you should or shouldn't do things.
Yeah, because Nero's streaming right now. Shane Fogetech is streaming right now.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted Shane over on mine, but whatever. I'm going to hit him up and say, "Dude, when you're done, just come over for half an hour or 10 minutes or whatever." But whatever. It is what it is. Me and Dan will probably stream for a couple hours anyway, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, I told my wife it was social media night. Or I told her
post your channel for Dum Dum. A few people don't have it here. I'd like to go watch.
Sure.
Let's see which one of us gets to it first, Llama.
So this time around, we're going to do a little outdoor lawn and garden.
Oh, you can hear my video in the background.
Oh, are you going to copyright strike Jerry for that?
Nope.
I don't see why somebody would get upset when you share somebody else's video and you promote them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
try to plug everybody as much as possible.
Have you guys uploaded videos in the last like 2 weeks?
Yeah,
I did.
Because they have a new thing where they automatically pre-scan your video before they release it now.
Oh,
to see
yeah.
if there's any copyright
mine sat there
strikes on
for
it.
hours and hours, and I finally just
Yeah.
published it anyway. And I checked it later, and it was fine. So you just have to ignore that and publish it.
Yeah.
Jerry, there's a little dog tail going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I know the dog's there and you're petting it, but all you can
Yeah.
see is the tail going.
I've been dinged twice or 3 times with videos I posted, and I disputed it. I went back and disputed it and won.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, I
looking
do
outside trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Then I realized my son is moving my motorcycle out there. So give me just a moment. I'll be right back.
Mike with Auto Drop, wasn't it on Dan's stream that I won the 3 rolls? I forget which one, but I won 3 rolls. Mike from Auto Drop paid for it. Awesome filament from Printed Solid. It prints perfect. So
Yeah,
cool.
I don't know which one it was. It was either Dan's or I forget what the other one was I participated in.
Dan. It was Dan's.
Yeah. That was Dan's 500, wasn't it?
Yep.
And when I hit 2,500, I've got like 10 or 15 different people and companies. I'm giving away tons of stuff. I'm at like 2273 or something like that. I'm still a little over 200 short on subs. So
Yeah,
the
so if
faster
you're
I
out
get
there,
subscribers, the
subscribe to the
faster I do
channel.
giveaway.
Subscribe to the channel if you're out there, guys. Like, subscribe, so we can get up to the 2,500, and we'll have a giveaway here on Jerry's stream.
Yeah, you might win lots of goodies.
Yep. I'll be on there.
Most
Hopefully-
of them are USA only. Some of them are worldwide.
Not to pick on you guys, but probably every single
Here
one
you
of
go,
you guys.
Cybernet Cafe man. Here, hello. We were just talking about you. Dan was just on my stream talking about your stream.
I started my YouTube channels probably like years ahead of all you guys. And I'm just now hitting 500. Tells you how good my videos are.
It's not
you, have
about,
good, you have good videos, Llama.
Yeah,
And you
I
have
think
tons
so.
of cool stuff over on Thingiverse.
Yeah, my videos are not exactly polished. Now, the thing is there is a catch to the giveaway. You actually have to watch the stream or the video I made today and released today, because there's a form you have to fill out and there's a question that involves that video.
And that's the video you released today?
Yeah, I released one this morning. Well, I released it this morning. YouTube released it sometime this afternoon.
Okay,
How
hey,
do you
Dan,
search on
please
YouTube
have that
for everybody
now.
that's live?
There's a live option.
I guess you type in 3D printing, right?
No, but if you want anybody that's live in YouTube, there's a live option on the menu on the right hand side if you go to youtube.com.
Yeah.
If you want to do our guys, you have to find the channels and then subscribe to them.
Yep. You can limit it though when you do the live thing. You can type in like 3D printing and
On my TV, I always go to home and I watch recommended, but if I watch a bunch of videos about a certain subject, it seems like that's all that pops up on the top row.
Yeah, I hate that.
And then it buries everybody that's going live or things I normally watch.
Like every once in a while, I'll watch a video. Like I'll watch.
Hey Dan, Cyberdeck's here.
David Gilmore.
Oh, are
video,
they? Hey, what's up, Cyberdeck?
Yeah, he hung out with me last week. He popped in for a while. Sorry, Llama.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm used to it.
He doesn't see Dum Dum doesn't see a
Between
live
me, you, and
category.
Dan, we're always interrupting somebody. The three of us work.
Yeah, my CGI wife showed up there, BCK. Yeah. Some of the community believes that my wife is CGI because they never really see her, and if they do see her, it seems like it might be a CGI woman. So that's okay.
I'm really, I bought this Amazon Basics TPU, and I'm kind of liking it a lot.
I pried some a while back, and it printed perfectly fine. Even though here in Vegas, they got the Nellis Auction Center. They sell Amazon returns, and they have it on there constantly. But yeah, it printed fine for me.
It's actually most, when you buy the cheapo TPUs, they're kind of hard. They're easy to print, which is good depending on what you're using it for. But this is actually, I could see people having problems because this is way softer than like
here's
all
the stuff
the
that's like
cheapo.
NinjaTech, but it's called Yoyi. It's just like $10 a roll cheaper. I got this and it prints really soft. It's very soft. But I'm running it through my FL Sun, and that extruder is like a Titan clone. It's an enclosed system, so it can't, won't spaghetti out of it.
Is that 85A?
Yeah, whatever. I think that's what it was, 85A.
I think it's like 89. It's just over 90.
The other two TPUs I had were too strong for the track. They were like 95A or whatever, and this one I don't remember what the shore hardness is.
Because this is probably
the same as NinjaPlex.
Yeah.
Well, then it's an 85A. NinjaPlex is 85.
3D Medic Vince, hello. Been a long time.
What's up, Vince?
And Mike, just so you know, sir, we are good. It's there. It's ready to go. So, Llama, you are also going to be throwing in 3 rolls of printed solid Jesse for 1 giveaway. We just do it that way, so it's the free shipping. So, 1 giveaway will be 3 rolls. So now you've got 2 $25 gift certificates and 1 giveaway for 3 rolls. It'll be for 3 rolls of the printed solid yellow. They can either pick the 3 yellows, or if they say they don't care, then I'll just grab the usual 3, which is like the industrial runoff, the yellow, was it yellow bird or whatever. And then it's either the golden winner or there's another one.
Mike from AutoDrop 3D, his channel is on the screen. Everybody go subscribe. He's a long-haired dude up in the corner with a purple shirt from AutoDrop 3D. Please go subscribe to him.
Long-haired dude. The hippie.
I am doing my own thing being anti-hippie.
I know. That's why I love calling you a hippie, because you're so anti-hippie. See, now, if you grew up, well, you're younger than I am, but you're not that much younger than I am. But if you grew up in the 70s, you would like being a hippie.
Look,
today's hippies are not
like 3 decades or 2 decades.
70s hippies were cool. Today's hippies aren't hippies; they're yuppies.
Yeah, I
would have said grewed up, not grew up. Grewed up.
Dominic,
I never.
With regards to your PETG or whatever, make sure you dry it first. Make sure you dry PETG or TPU or any of those higher products beyond PLA, because if you don't dry them, you'll get crappy prints. You get stringy.
Yeah. These cheapo TPUs, you don't have to worry about them as much.
I always do it anyway, but
yeah, I don't have a dryer. I never have a problem with it.
I use a food dehydrator, and if I'm doing a lot of TPU, I will use or a lot of like PETG. I use my filler dry. And that's your boot dryer.
Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about converting this to a filament dryer because I still got the polycarbonate, which I can't print.
What is that?
These little boot adapt. It's a boot dryer.
Boot dryer.
For your work
boot dryer?
You flip your boots over and set them on top.
You put your boots on it and dries your boots overnight. But these pop
that's
out.
almost like a feet scented candle. You turn it on and your house smells like your dirty, nasty feet.
No, you know what? It's funny, and that's one thing I always used to use this for. This actually kills the stink in your shoes.
Wait a second. Does it suck air through and then put it through like a filter, or does it blow air out?
It doesn't heat it. There's no fan. There's just a little heater in it. It gets up to like 95 degrees. That's it.
Oh.
And the heat rises up through your boots, and like an hour later, they're dry and smelly clean. Now, I usually hit them with like a boot, spray, antifungal crap before I even put them on here.
Yeah, I don't have the sun though. I have the filler dry, which was out before all these other guys started to come out with them, and I use that for my PETG. But I don't. But I dry it first in the food dehydrator, and then I use that to maintain the dryness while I'm printing it.
They got a glove attachment for that too. That's why those pop out. You can put your gloves on it too.
I just noticed something here. Mike, you're almost to 500 subs as well. You're about 22 subs away. looks like.
Yeah, that's for my regular channel. You know, that's not my auto drop channel. My auto drop channel has 10 subscribers.
But that being said, though, there's no reason that everybody who's here can't just hit up their Twitters and just throw out a quick tweet that just says, "Hey, you know, good friend Mike in the community is looking to get his personal channel up for some side projects. Everybody, please go give him a follow." And if everybody shoots that out and at least one more person hits that, we got how many watching right now, Jerry? There's about 24 watching. You only need 22. So if they can each get at least one person, you should be over 500 by the time Llama and I go live. Maybe you can do a 500 subscriber giveaway on your channel then.
Yeah, I'll go on, I'm going on Twitter right now.
If you guys haven't figured it out, Dan is the QVC salesman for YouTube.
You know, Dan had a very fast channel growth period, and I think he's got the formula down. Are you up?
Well, I had the formula down. The problem was I kind of pulled back a little bit, and that kind of screwed me up a little bit. But at least it's working out in the favor of others, and that's kind of the whole point. Like a lot of you guys know, as much as I sit here and I talk a lot of smack and I say a lot of stupid things, I'm also there to kind of help you guys out too, push your guys' stuff out, try to get more people involved. I mean, let's see here with Do It Tim. Tim's channel blew up quick. He went from having nobody to 500 subscribers. And granted, yeah, in that last little push for him to get him there, you know, my wife, I said I'd do a $25 gift card to get him his last couple of subscribers, you know, to get to his 500 subscriber giveaway. And my wife was sitting here and she said, no, do that one. So we ended up, you know, in the end, it was a $50 gift card to Printed Solid because my wife said so. So, you know, my wife is the boss and I don't argue with her. So she said to do it, we did it. And like I said, maybe we can make some things happen and get you there too, sir. And if word of mouth makes it go, great. But if not, and you know, maybe I got to do that again, then maybe I got to do that again. I hope not, because
I just reposted it in chat, and I went on Twitter and I made a post for you, Mike.
Yeah, I see the numbers are just going up. That's like 5 in the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. That is good, sir.
So, Llama, you guys are going live in about 20 minutes, and how long is the video I have to watch?
Like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only like a 5 or 10 minute video. It's not very long, so what the heck am I doing here? Getting ahead of myself. Sorry, guys.
It's a little more than 5 minutes. It's like 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay, so let me know.
5-minute videos are really 2.5-minute videos when you run them at double speed, and that's what I do with every video I watch.
Yeah.
If you put the keyword in private chat, I can run my stream longer and I won't have to watch your video. And I won't tell anybody.
Crowdsource it.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Since I last looked, you just jumped 6 people in the last 5 minutes that it's been that I looked. So there you go.
Cow.
I mean,
you know, I don't think I'm subscribed to your. I am to your auto drop, but I don't think I am to
sometimes you'll be subscribed to somebody on YouTube, and you go back later to watch them, and you're unsubscribed. So YouTube does something weird.
Oh, holy cow! Yeah, I'm up 10. 10
right.
Cool.
We're making it happen, Mike. We're making it happen. Okay.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, I don't think
you'll be there, bud. You'll be there. What the hell is going on with YouTube right now? Every time I try to go to your channel, it cuts off the last part of your channel. Like every time.
I just subbed also because I wasn't subbed. Now I'm subbed too.
I'm double checking right now myself here just to make sure
488 right now, Mike,
across the board.
Which video Dum Dum wants to know, Mom, is he supposed to watch?
The most recent video he put out about the garage door.
Oh, what'd you do to your garage door?
That's why you have to watch video.
Oh, I watched the video.
Yeah. Yeah, when he
probably put blue tape on something because he didn't want to drive to the store.
I did not use blue tape. I will say
this was a no blue tape episode.
The very beginning of it, in the little intro, you know, where I always do you're just watching another 3D printing llama. It took me like 3 hours to get that stupid little llama to stick to that wire. And I tried blue tape, and it didn't work.
Wow.
Adam in 3D, you too, huh?
I ended up
you're getting there.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So, guys, Llama, when you go live, when you and Dan go live in a few minutes, promote each channel. We can get 10 more subscribers over there, and we get them over the number.
I will.
Here, let me go to my Facebook and post.
I don't have to. That's what Dan's for. Dan is the
like I said, I mean,
YouTube.
Dan is PR.
A lot of you guys, like I said, a lot of you guys know, man. For me, I get more enjoyment out of watching your guys' channels grow than mine. Granted, I want to hit the magic 1,000 like we all do, get that monetization and be able to kind of sit back a little bit more and relax. We all want to hit 1,000. And to be completely honest with you, if my channel ever hits 1,000, I'm happy with 1,000. I don't need, the 100,000. I don't need the 250,000. I don't need 500,000. I'll sit at 1,000 subs and I'll be happy and content, because if my channel has the opportunity for people to give through the channel if they want to, that's fine. Currently, I put the PayPal on there. If people want to give that way too, that's fine. Otherwise, I don't really care, because like I said, my wife and I are making a business, or going to try to make a business out of basically the YouTube, the Twitch, the streaming, all of that stuff, as well as like the side stuff that comes from it. You know what I mean? Like being able to 3D print things for people and sell them locally or online, the burning and etching and doing the stuff with the lasers and all that stuff. That's more of where the money's going to come from, is going to be that stuff. This side
Mike,
here, not
on
so much.
Facebook, on my group, on my page, I posted it also.
Dan, that's how 3D printing nerd started. He was actually his YouTube was making very little, and back when I started, he started. I mean, I remember seeing his very first ones with his flash boards. He was making more money selling cookie cutters on Etsy than he was actually in the videos.
You know what? I remember way back in the day when you could monetize your channel when you had like 200 or something subscribers. And then they switched that whole policy, because I had that turned on at one point, and I was making like 10 or 15 bucks a month, just random stuff coming in.
Yeah. Dude, I was at like 200 when it was 250, and they kicked it up to 1,000.
Yeah,
and that's when I kind of gave up on it, because I was like, you know what, I don't care.
If you're still watching, thank you very much for the $5.90 on PayPal. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And as for the CyberDeck Cafe crew, we will definitely be doing something here soon, just so you guys know. I was talking to them, and I had mentioned to you guys about the number pad. The number pad thing will happen, and hopefully that'll grow, and I'll be able to do some CyberDeck stuff too, because it looks really awesome. I quite enjoy it. And if you guys haven't seen anything with the CyberDecks, a lot of the CyberDecks use your computer on a chip, either Raspberry Pis or something along those lines. That's in most cases, that's kind of the brain of everything. And then they do hand soldered keyboards. So they make their own keyboards, mechanical keyboards. Then they put whatever they want on them, from like rotary buttons, like rotary dials, to control whatever they want to control there. For
any kind of retro PC computer stuff from back in the day, you can do with Pis and stuff, basically.
Yeah, and that's a lot of what they do, and they make their own custom stuff. So they design their own custom parts. So the 3D printed parts. I know one of the big things, and what they're looking to get into now is they've been looking at using like 10 millimeter or 20 millimeter extrusion, aluminum extrusion, to build a frame off of, and then they're building modules now that you can swap out screens, keyboards, mice, touchpads, things like that, and all the components that you would build for this can all be basically just snapped onto a 2020 or a 2020 or a 1010, or basically using the standard aluminum extrusion you can buy, and you can pop those pieces in and build it out, so people in the community can all build based off of a standard. You know what I mean? They can find kind of a standard to build off of, so it's not all the. You can still do your one-offs and your crazy things, but you also have your custom stuff too.
That'd be a cool idea, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be pretty sweet. So if you guys get a chance, I know Boot Disc. He was saying it's JD or Boot Disc. He was talking that with the CyberDeck stuff. If you guys give them a follow, they do like community hangouts like we do. They're doing theirs as well now, and so if you're ever just curious, want to ask questions, go over there and check them out, and just give them half hour of your time and ask your questions. They'll be more than happy to answer.
Yeah.
And
Dan, so an idea would be, because they're using Pis, they should actually consider adding 508 compliance to it. So it's actually for sight impaired people to get audio feedback on what they're pressing and whatever they're using on the Pi, and that way then people who are sight impaired can use the keyboards.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what do we got? 10 minutes, Llama?
Yeah.
And your video's 5 minutes, so I'm going to end the stream here instead of going 4 hours. I'll cut it off early. I'll leave everybody on screen, so if you want to say goodbye to everybody all at once here, however you want to do it. So thank you, everybody, for dropping in. Please like, subscribe, check out some cool discounts below. Go subscribe to DB3D Dan, Liam Astroprinter, Mike at AutoDrop, and go check out Llama. He's going live, and then he's giving away some really cool stuff. So anything you guys want to say, I'm going to run my exit right now.
Gift cards, some filament.
Well,
Awesome.
thanks everybody for subscribing.
Yeah, speaking of where you at
Now you're gonna have to do some videos, Mike.
Yeah.